What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2TF. Chapter 26. The world is in shock. The next day, the news of 7 warlords of the sea's defeat flew around the world as news birds, causing violent shocks throughout the world. Naval Headquarters Marineford, Marine Conference. A-hole, this, Thunder, Amber said he didn't want to be an enemy of our Marine, so why did he have to do it? Look at what he did. Marshal Sengoku yelled angrily. Vice Admiral, Sengoku, please calm down. Now that things have happened, it is better to find ways to deal with the aftermath than to dwell on it. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect this Thunder Boy to be quite capable. He even killed Crocodile. Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, Marine Hero Garp was eating senbei without any scruples, laughing. Garp, be serious, Sengoku yelled, then he snatched the senbei from Garp's hand and started eating it. Now that one of the 7 warlords of the sea has been defeated, the balance of the 3 major forces will be broken, and the world will become turbulent again. Sengoku said seriously. The vacant position must be filled quickly. Xiao He, do you have any ideas? Sengoku looked at Vice Admiral He. Crane Vice Admiral thought for a while and said, since, Thunder, Amber has defeated Crocodile, how about letting him sit on the Shichibukai? Then Shichibukai's position is just a cabbage. Isn't it possible for anyone to sit if they want? Sengoku asked doubtfully. Originally, in addition to balancing the major forces, the Shichibukai system was originally established to make pirates kill each other. Now is a good opportunity. By letting Thunder, Amber become a Shichibukai, we can let the outside world know that as long as the Shichibukai is defeated, being able to become a Shichibukai, wouldn't this make the pirates fall into cannibalism? Suru Vice Admiral analyzed. Sengoku pondered for a while and felt that this method was feasible, so he summoned his adjutant to send a Shichibukai invitation to Thunder, Amber. There's another thing, Sengoku said. This, Thunder, Amber has been very active recently. First she defeated the Flying Squirrel Vice Admiral and then Shichibukai. 90 million Baileys is no longer suitable to measure him. How much should you decide? Some people proposed 200 million Baileys, some proposed 400 million Baileys, and some even proposed 1 billion Baileys. Finally, after considering everyone's opinions, Sengoku set a reward of 350 million belly for Thunder, Amber, and flew to the world with Newsbird. In New World, the Moby DK, a pirate ship shaped like a white whale, is sailing. There is a banquet being held on this ship at the moment. Marco, the captain of the 1st Division, came over with a newspaper. Dad, an interesting guy recently appeared in East Blue. The first time he offered a bounty was as high as 90 million Baileys. He recently defeated the guy from Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral and Crocodile, and now the bounty is as high as 350 million. Quote. Hoo la 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 la, Whitebeard took a sip of wine and laughed loudly. I didn't expect such an interesting newcomer to appear again. The sea is really vast. Ace, you are also from East Blue, right? Do you know this guy? Whitebeard said to the captain of the 2nd Division, Portkas. D. Ace asked. No, I've never heard of this person. Ace shook his head. Then forget it and keep drinking. Whitebeard raised his glass to his sons. Here's to Dad. Long live Daddy. The Whitebeard pirates are in carnival again. Another sea in the New World. On the Red Hair pirate's ship, a man with red hair and 3 scars under his eyes who looked very Haki was holding today's newspaper in his hand. This person is red-haired Shanks, one of the 4 emperors of New World. Thunder, Amber, what a great newcomer. But the situation on the sea is about to change again. This era is really getting more and more chaotic. The red-haired man looked at the newspaper and pondered. East Blue, I miss you so much, Luffy, you've almost gone to sea. New World, Dressrosa, ha, a new person but the new ones to kill you. Sand Crocodile, you are really getting better and better as you live. Doflamingo, wearing pink glasses, looked at the newspaper and laughed loudly. Thunder, Amber, this is really a big shot. I hope you can come to the New World alive and bring me a little fun. Devil's Triangle, Thriller Bark. Moonlight Moria, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, was staring at Amber's photo on the news with a greedy expression. After killing Crocodile, his shadow must be very strong. Come here quickly. With your shadow, I can awaken Majin Oz, defeat Kaido, and become the Pirate King, ha ha ha. The first half of the Grand Line, aboard the Thunder. It has been a few days since I left Alabasta. On this day, a news bird finally came. Amber, you are so valuable now. Nami looked at the 350 million belly on Amber's bounty and said to Amber while drooling. Amber banged her head against Nami's little head. Ouch. Amber, what are you doing? Nami looked at Amber pitifully. Why, you still want to sell the captain for Bailey? Amber looked at Nami and laughed. Other reward orders are as follows. Warcraft. Zoro 50 million belly. Little Thieving Cat. Nami 15 million belly. Son of the Devil. Nico Robin 80 million belly. What about me? What about me? Do you have mine? Chopper jumped up and down trying to see his reward. I finally found Chopper's reward order at the bottom. Pet Tony. Chopper 50 Bailey. Chopper directly Petrochemicals. Chapter 27 Gaia Island. By the way, after defeating Crocodile, I got his sand fruit. Does anyone want to eat it? Amber took out the yellow sand fruit and said to everyone. A true swordsman does not need to rely on external forces. I want to become the world's #1 swordsman with the sword in my hand. Zoro refused first. I have already eaten the devil fruit, so I can't eat the second one. Chopper said on the side. My situation is the same as Chopper. Robin said with a chuckle. What about you, Nami? Amber said to Nami holding the sand fruit. Nami looked at the devil fruit and thought of herself as the one who needed to be protected every time she encountered a battle. She wanted to help Amber and everyone, and she didn't want to be a burden to everyone every time. I want to eat it. Nami, have you thought about it? You won't be able to swim after eating this devil fruit. Amber asked again. I don't want to be a burden to everyone every time, I want to eat it. Nami looked at Amber with a firm look. Okay, since you've decided. Amber handed the sand fruit to Nami. You only need to take the first bite of the devil fruit. Nami took the sand fruit and took a bite. Pooh, it's so disgusting. You have now become a Logia sand fruit user. Feel the changes in your body carefully and try your ability. Yeah, Nami closed her eyes and felt her changes carefully. Soon she followed her feelings and controlled her arms to turn into sand. You can adapt so quickly, Nami, you are amazing. Amber flattered him a little. The starting point of Logia devil fruit is higher than that of ordinary fruits. As long as you work hard to develop it, it is not impossible to become the next crocodile, and you may even surpass him. Surpass Shichibukai, Nami repeated in disbelief. After that, Nami started the development of sand fruit and Haki training under Amber's guidance. Amber has taught all the members the training method of Haki. Their strength should be able to make greater progress than in the original book. The next stop is decided to be Gaia Island, also known as Magic Valley Town. Amber's goal is the historical text located on Sky Island. As for Enel, Amber asked the system. His thunder fruit was directly extracted by the system at the time when Enel had not yet discovered the thunder fruit. In other words, Enel will not become the god of Sky Island. ... Sailing days are always boring. Another 5 days of sailing time have passed. It looks like we are almost there. There is an island nearby, Nami said with a smile while looking at the pointer. I hope that island is our destination, Gaia Island. Amber stretched his body. He was bored by the sailing these days. Except for occasionally electrocuting fish in the sea, there was basically no other entertainment activities. Suddenly the sky darkened, as if it were a solar eclipse. At this time, a huge shadow suddenly appeared in the sky ahead. This shadow was in the shape of a human, holding a spear in his hand, with 2 small wings on his back. The best description of it is that it is as tall as 1,000 feet. What is this? A giant, much bigger than the 2 giants in Little Garden, Nami said in surprise. Wow, such a big giant, Chopper also exclaimed. Even Zoro and Robin, who were always calm, looked surprised when they saw such a huge figure. Only Amber knew that it was not a giant at all, but the shadow projection of the people living on Sky Island. Since we can see this kind of scene, it means that we are not far from Jaya Island. After several hours of sailing, we finally arrived at Jaya Island. The Magic Valley town on Jaya Island is a town composed of pirates, and most of the pirates gathered here are extremely vicious. So the whole town has no rules at all. Burning, looting, murder, arson, drunkenness, and street fights are commonplace here. This is the paradise of pirates. After landing on Gaia Island, Amber and her gang were ready to inquire about the news. After all, so many years have passed, and Amber can only remember the general content of the original work, down to a specific location or event. Unless it was a big event like the Summit War, how could she still remember it? Amber, Zoro, and Nami decided to go to the town to find out information, while Robin and Chopper stayed behind to guard the thunder. After finding a random bar, Amber decided to go in and investigate. Everyone present looked at the 3 people who came in, but no one reacted. Amber casually ordered a glass of wine from the boss and started asking for information. Boss, have you heard of Sky Island? Amber handed over a large bag of Bailey. Sky Island. In this day and age, there are still young people who believe in such mythical legends. But for Bailey's sake, I will tell you about it. The bar owner naturally took the Bailey from Amber and he talked endlessly about the legend of Sky Island. Nami, Zoro, the information is in hand, let's go. As soon as Amber stood up, several gangsters suddenly surrounded her. Boy, I heard everything just now. You are actually inquiring about the legend of Sky Island. Some people still believe in such old legends, ha ha ha. One of the yellow hairs started to laugh. Brothers, did you hear that? These people actually believe that Sky Island is real. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The pirates in the entire tavern began to laugh. What does it have to do with you whether I believe it or not? If you don't want to die, just get out of the way. Amber said calmly. Ha ha. You are really arrogant. So, you newbie pirates who talk about your dreams all day long and always like to daydream really make me angry. Huang Mao smiled and suddenly stopped, swung his fist and hit Amber. Ha! Amber caught the fist easily, and then looked at Huang Mao coldly. You are like garbage. I didn't want to kill you, but you insist on seeking death. Then he punched Huang Mao in the face. Huang Mao flew out immediately, his neck turned 360 degrees, and it was obvious that he could no longer die. What? This kid actually dares to fight back. Come together and kill him. Hurry up and call Boss Bellamy. The pirates rushed over. Zoro, Nami, don't leave anyone alive. These pirates are vicious scum who kill civilians. Amber said coldly. The purpose of calling Nami out is to train her fighting ability and her fighting will. Yes, Captain. Zoro pulled out a knife with an expressionless expression. Yes, Captain. Nami looked a little timid and turned his right hand into a sand blade. Ah, help. The one-sided killing ended quickly, but several pirates who were present disappeared. It seemed they were looking for their boss, Bellamy. Looking at the bloody corpses on the ground, Nami's expression was a bit ugly. I won't write about the poisonous points of making people vomit when they kill people, who can't stand the inner condemnation, and who want to live or die. Nami, you know you are kind at heart, but kindness is for good people. There is no need to waste your kindness on pirates like this who enjoy killing people. Amber put her hand on Nami's shoulder to comfort her. But, Nami still couldn't accept that he had killed so many people. Nami, if there is one more pirate like this alive in this world, there will be one more oppressed village like Kokoyashi village. I understand. I will never be confused again. I will use my power to protect everyone. Nami stood up and said firmly. Chapter 28 Rolando Descendants. Interesting for you. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 213. 53. 71. Bang. The bar door was violently kicked open. Did you, a kid like you, kill my men? Bellamy's attention was attracted by the corpses on the ground, and he shouted angrily. Amber glanced at Bellamy expressionlessly, and her aura shocked Bellamy. You are the Thunder, Amber who defeated Crocodile, one of the Shichibukai, with a bounty of 350 million Baileys. Bellamy said in horror when he saw Amber's face clearly. Yes, I killed your subordinates. Amber said lightly. Lord Amber, this might be a misunderstanding. Bellamy said respectfully and flatteringly. In the original book, this guy is a bully. The reason why he dared to provoke Luffy was because the news of Luffy's defeat of Crocodile was blocked, which led him to think that Luffy was just a little pirate. When he met Brother Ming, he tried his best to kneel down and lick him. Then you have no objection. No objection, sir. But I have an opinion. After Amber finished speaking, she disappeared and then appeared behind Bellamy, putting a hand on his shoulder, 10 million volts. Discharge. Ah, Bellamy only felt a sharp pain, and then he was electrocuted and passed out. You can exchange this pirate for the bounty to compensate for your losses. Amber said to the tavern owner hiding in the corner. As for whether he went to exchange it or not, Amber didn't care. Nami spread out the map in his hand and said with a smile, according to the information I have found, the residence of Rolando's descendant is in the northeast of the island. Well, let's go. After spending several hours, Amber and others finally arrived at the northeastern part of Gaia Island. Wow, Amber, look, there is a castle over there. It's so awesome. Chopper looked at the castle in front of him with starry eyes. Haha, Chopper, take a closer look, that castle is just a board. Robin chuckled lightly, touched Chopper's head and said, according to Rolando's legend, a large amount of gold is buried under this island. His descendants should have some clues. Gold. When Nami heard the news about gold, her eyes immediately burst into dazzling light, and then the little birdie hugged Amber's arm and acted coquettishly. Amber, I want gold. Amber rubbed Nami's hair vigorously. Hey, you two, pay attention to the impact. Zoro complained at the side. Amber walked towards the door and knocked gently. Hello, is anyone here? The door soon opened, and a middle-aged man with an onion-like hairstyle appeared. This person is Wen Bulan, a descendant of Rolando. Coolie guy. Who are you? What's the matter? Coolie guy asked in an indifferent tone. That's right, we are going to find the legendary Sky Island and want to ask you some questions. Coolie guy was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing. You actually believe in the existence of Sky Island? Uncle, why are you as annoying as those pirates in the tavern? Nami said from the side. Sky Island is real, Amber said with certainty. Hee. Curry guy laughed at himself. I don't know if there is a Sky Island. However, I know that there is a person who says there is, but that person is a famous liar, and future generations will be embarrassed by him. Rolando is telling the truth. Not only does Sky Island exist, but the Golden Land also exists. Amber said. Haha, I have spent most of my life looking for the Golden Land, but I have found nothing. How can it exist? Guy smiled bitterly and shook his head. You have been searching under the sea, haven't you ever thought that you are looking in the wrong direction? Amber said with a smile. What, do you know something? Guy asked excitedly. I can tell you the answer you want to know, but in return you have to tell us your story. Okay, you guys come in first. Coolie guy invited Amber and others into the house. There was an orangutan and ape in the house. Hey, did Dad have any guests? The ape asked. Yeah, Coolie guy agreed. Quote. In the end, Rolando was executed for lying and became a joke in the story. Guy slowly told Rolando's story. You were just here looking for gold on the seabed to wash away the shame of your ancestors. Guy was silent. What did you mean when you said I was looking in the wrong direction? It's a simple truth. If it's not under the sea, then it's in the sky. Amber responded. Heaven. Coolie guy was shocked. Could it be that the Golden Township is on Sky Island? Robin guessed. There are frequent surges of ocean currents nearby. Perhaps during a large-scale surge of ocean currents, the Golden Township flew to Sky Island along with the ocean currents. Robin is indeed a scholar, beautiful and smart. Amber praised. Haha, Mr. Amber is really good at talking. Robin covered his mouth and chuckled. No wonder, no wonder. No wonder I haven't found anything after searching for so many years. Coolie Guy said in a daze. Then how are we going to Sky Island? Nami asked with a frown. How did the Golden Township get rushed up? Let's use whatever method to get there. Amber Kaido. Ride on the upwelling current. If the Golden Land really flies to Sky Island like this, the upwelling current should be able to carry you into the sky. The question I want to ask is where and when the upwelling currents formed. Amber said. Well, come with me. Coolie Guy led the way, and everyone followed behind. Sometimes a very strange phenomenon occurs in some sea areas in this area. It is clearly daytime, but in the blink of an eye, it is shrouded in darkness. Those are quite thick clouds and black shadows. These clouds are called cumulus clouds. They are formed high in the sky, regardless of accumulation. No matter how thick it is, there will be no air currents or rainfall, and even sunlight cannot penetrate it. I guess, if there is a sky island, it must be above it. Said Coolie Guy. Each outbreak of the rising current will last about a minute, and the location of the outbreak will also be different. It will occur about 5 times a month, and the next outbreak will be 3 days later. If you don't find the sky island, you will be shattered if you fall. Lee Guy said seriously. Wow, it's so scary. Nami and Chopper hugged each other and cried in fear. Then Nami looked at Amber pitifully. Amber, can we not go? Ouch. Amber gently tapped Nami's head with her arms-colored fingers. You were already a Logia. Didn't you just learn to float in the air as elements recently? What are you afraid of? Amber looked at Nami angrily and said. I forgot about it for a moment. Nami said awkwardly. Even if it falls, I have a way to ensure that nothing happens to everyone. Amber said confidently. That's right. With Amber here, there's nothing to be afraid of. Chopper said. Zoro and Robin also smiled, and before they knew it, Amber had become everyone's support. It seems that you have decided to go. Yes, the next target is Sky Island. Chapter 29 Sky Island. The southern waters of Gaia Island. After 3 days of preparation, Amber and others were ready to set off for Sky Island. After driving the boat to the location where Guy predicted the rising current, they started waiting. Bang! A huge sound sounded from under the ship, and the thunder rushed into the sky along the current. I don't know how much time has passed, it could be a few minutes, it could be 10 years. After all, people live in a weightless state like years. Finally the thunder made it through the clouds and arrived at Sky Island. Phew! Finally arrived at Sky Island. Nami, who was in poor physical condition, exhaled sharply and said. It feels a little difficult to breathe. Is this altitude sickness? Quote. Phew! Did we successfully reach the legendary Sky Island? Chopper said with lingering fear, touching his heart cutely. It's all white here, where are we going? Nami frowned and looked at the white surroundings. Let me do it, Amber Kaido. After getting Thunder Fruit for so long and awakening observation Haki, how could I not practice according to the direction of Enel's heart network in the original work? In the original work, Enel used observation Haki and combined with the characteristics of Thunder Fruit, the heart network can even cover the entire Sky Island. Amber may not be able to cover such a wide range now, after all, Haki has only been awakened for a few months, but it can still cover a small half of Sky Island. Through the heart network, Amber quickly found the way. After pointing out the direction to Nami, the thunder sailed forward. After several hours, the thunder finally arrived at the gate of heaven, the entrance to Sky Island. Are you here for sightseeing? Or are you here to fight? At this moment, an old woman suddenly walked out of the room and started taking photos. No matter where you are from, if you want to go to the top, you must pay an entry fee. One person is 1 billion IK. This is the law. What? Nami, who was extremely concerned about money, immediately screamed, 1 billion, where do we have so much money? Aren't you going to rob? You can refuse to pay, but you will be sentenced to illegal entry. Amazon said calmly. Nami, the money here is not equivalent to the money below, leave it to me. Amber patted Nami on the shoulder and said. Amber really doesn't want to cause so much trouble. After all, there are no bosses to fight in Sky Island now, and there is nothing valuable except the historical text and the gold inside. So Amber wants to get it done quickly. How much does it cost to exchange 1 billion IKs for Baileys? Amber asked calmly. The conversion to Bailey is 1 to half a million. Amazon replied. Amber tossed out a bag of just enough Baileys. Okay, you can go in. Amazon said, and then opened the door. After passing the gate of heaven, the thunder was sandwiched by Sky Island's specialty, express shrimp, and moved rapidly along the cloud path. After dozens of seconds, the thunder completely flew out of the jet cloud. After the thunder docked, everyone got off the ship. Feeling the strange feeling coming from the clouds under her feet, even Amber, who has read the original work, found it magical and had to admire the miraculous imagination of the creator god Oda. I didn't expect that there are plants on Sky Island. But they seem to be a little different from the plants below. Is it because it is closer to the sun? Or is there something different about the soil here? Looking at the vibrant forest in front of him, Robin said in surprise, as the scholars who study history have an unparalleled curiosity about unknown things. There's a girl over there, let's go over and ask. Hello. Amber greeted first. Hello. Are you from Shanghai? The girl didn't react at first, then smiled and responded. Only then did everyone see the girl's appearance clearly. She had long light golden hair, a cute pink dress, a belt around her slender waist, and the most incredible thing was that she had a pair of small wings on her back. Is this the legendary angel? Chopper said naively. Yes, we are from Shanghai. My name is Amber, and they are. Amber replied with a smile. Then she introduced the crew to the girl one by one. Welcome to the Angel Beach in the Kingdom of God. My name is Conis. The girl introduced herself. Conis, Hasso. A middle-aged man came over in a strange vehicle in the distance. That was the Waiba mentioned by the people of Sky Island. Father, Hasso. Conis responded happily. Then the uncle enthusiastically said that he had caught a lot of fish at sea and invited Amber and others to come home as guests. Amber thought that if she didn't eat the free lunch, God would be afraid of it, so she agreed. Everyone returned to the Thunder, followed the Viper, and soon arrived at Conis's home. Conis's home is on the edge of the town. It is not small and has a large balcony overlooking the sea of clouds. Soon the uncle ran to the kitchen to cook, and Conis stayed here to entertain everyone. With Conis's introduction, everyone gradually began to understand the life and customs of Sky Island. They also learned about Sky Island's specialty, energy shells. This kind of shell has many uses. Life on Sky Island is almost inseparable from it. Energy shells are also divided into many types, including the jet shells installed behind the Viper, the fire shells that the uncle is using to cook, and various strange shellfish, which surprised everyone. Soon the uncle prepared the dishes, and everyone ate in a happy atmosphere. After eating, Nami told Conis about the adventure story in Shanghai, and Conis's eyes lit up when she heard it. I really envy your adventurous life, Conis said. Then do you want to go on an adventure with us? Amber mentioned casually. The others froze, and then looked at Amber with eyes that looked like a scumbag. Hey, what's with that expression on your face? Amber shouted in dissatisfaction. Captain, it's not enough that you have Nami, you forced Robin to join the pirate group, and now you invite a girl when you see her. Aren't you afraid of the Shura field? Zoro complained unscrupulously on the side. What the hell? What nonsense are you talking about? Who is this stupid captain? Before Amber replied, Nami's face was already red, and she stood up and shouted at Zoro. Hee. It seems that Mr. Captain is in crisis. Robin covered his mouth and laughed on the side. What nonsense are these guys talking about? I just want to invite Conis to adventure together. Amber said with a black line on her face. I can't, I don't know anything. Conis said shyly on the side and refused. Can you cook? At this time, Nami looked at Conis with expectation. I learned from my father. Conis nodded honestly. Thinking of the meal the uncle had just cooked, everyone couldn't help but swallow their saliva. Conis, come on an adventure with us. Nami suddenly said seriously, holding Conis's hand. After eating the delicious food the uncle had cooked, Nami really didn't want to go back to the daily routine of eating plain food on the ship. Chapter 30 The Golden Bell and the 5th crew member. Can I really do that? Conis looked expectant. Of course, everyone welcomes you. Nami said happily. But, father, Conis said uncertainly, it doesn't matter, we will stay here for a few days. You can have a good communication with him. Regardless of whether you can go on adventures with us in the end, we will always welcome you. Amber said with a smile. The uncle who was working there didn't expect that his precious daughter would be abducted just after he walked away for a while. Then everyone thanked the uncle for the hospitality and returned to the boat. Swish, 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 several figures suddenly flew up from the sky, wearing masks on their heads, some holding spears, some holding rocket launchers, shields on their backs, and their bare upper bodies painted with patterns. These are sandy Asian people. Then several of the people holding rocket launchers launched an attack on the Thunder. Damn, I'm still involved in this shit. Amber cursed secretly as she fired lightning to shoot down the rocket. He doesn't want to care about the messy affairs of Sandians and Sky Islanders. He just wants to quickly find the historical text in the pile of gold, and run away with it. Amber has never been a saint. He only cares about the people he cares about, and other people. When you are in a good mood, you can help, but when you are in a bad mood, you don't want to meddle in that matter. But these D Sandians actually attacked for no reason, which made Amber a little angry. So he took action without mercy. 5 million volts. Thunder. Amber stretched out her hands and pointed them at the Sandians. Suddenly, dozens of thunder and lightning emitted from her hands. Most of the Sandians fell to the ground after being electrocuted. Some people's entire bodies were blackened by electricity, and they didn't even know whether they were dead or alive. Stop. The remaining few Sandians roared in unison, preparing to take action. The blow just now was in retaliation for your unprovoked attack. I have shown mercy. If you dare to attack again, I will kill you all today. No one will be spared. Amber was as cold as Shinigami, using an extremely cold expression, said in a tone of voice. The murderous aura so strong that it almost became a substance swept through the remaining Sandians, making them afraid to take another step forward, and their bodies were trembling with fear. Nami, what's wrong with Amber? It's become so scary. Chopper pulled Nami's hand uneasily and whispered in fear. It should be fine, Nami said uncertainly. Zoro and Robin also looked serious. Finally Zoro stood up. Amber, are you okay? After hearing Zoro's words, Amber also realized that something was wrong with her state, quickly adjusted herself, and then shook her head. Don't worry, I'm fine. Please stop, it was our fault just now, please calm down. At this time, a Sandian man with a coxcomb on his head stood up. He is Weber, known as the War Ghost, and is now the leader of the Sandians. This strong man, we are. Weibo was about to explain his difficulties and reasons, but was directly interrupted by Amber. I'm only going to say this once, you and your tribe, please listen to me. I'm not interested in, nor interested in, taking care of the affairs between you and the Sky Island people. My companions and I will stay in Sky for the next few days. Island, if you and your tribe dare to disturb us again, then there will be no need for the entire Sandia tribe to exist. Now, let's go, Amber said lightly. Yes, yes. Weber looked at Amber's eyes and knew that what he said was true. He didn't dare to talk nonsense anymore, and led the remaining Sandians to take away the fallen Sandians quickly, disappear. After the Sandians left, Amber, what was going on with you just now? Nami said a little worried. It's okay, I'm just a little annoyed that the plan was broken. I didn't want to confront them, Amber said to Nami with a smile. Next, Amber finally found the location of the Golden Bell and the historical text through the ability of the Heart Network, and led everyone to start a treasure hunt. Soon everyone arrived at the location of the Golden Bell. Suddenly a giant snake jumped out and was chopped into a roasted snake by Amber's thunderbolt, and the treasure in its belly was dug out. Finally I saw the Golden Bell. Although the Golden Bell in the distance was partially covered with moss, it still could not block its dazzling golden light. Wow, it's such a big piece of gold. How many Baileys is this worth? Nami, a little money fanatic, immediately hugged the golden clock and refused to let go. The historical text of Sky Island is located under the golden clock. While everyone is attracted by the gorgeous and heavy appearance of the golden clock, Robin's eyes are firmly fixed on the moss-covered historical text. Go, Robin. Amber followed Robin's gaze and read the historical text, then said to Robin with a smile. Well, thank you, Amber. Robin looked at Amber and thanked her softly. Not long after she joined the Sky Shadow Pirates, this man took her to find 2 historical texts. He never used her or asked her about ancient weapon. Everyone on the ship was also very kind to her and regarded her as a partner. Now Robin has a sense of belonging to the Sky Shadow Pirates. Robin slowly walked towards the historical text and started reading Shikai. Amber walked towards the huge yellow golden clock. Come on, let's ring the golden bell and tell Uncle Guy that the golden land is real and we have found the real golden land. Amber said with a smile. He raised his right fist and aimed it at the golden bell. Boom, boom, boom. Sandora's golden bell was rung again. As for whether it can really bring peace, Amber doesn't care. Gaia Island below Sky Island, Rolando Descendant Guy was walking on the beach as usual when he suddenly heard a dong dong bell from the sky. Those guys really succeeded. They really reached Sky Island and found the golden land. Our ancestors didn't lie. Uncle Guy suddenly burst into tears. What I have been persisting in for my entire life has finally come true, and I deserve congratulations. Soon Amber and others packed up all the gold and took it away. As for the golden clock, let it stay here. This is people's faith after all. Amber has the strength to do things like destroy people's faith, but there is no need to do it. Amber and others came to Conis's home again. Conis, how are you thinking about it? Do you want to go on an adventure with us? Although my father is very reluctant to part with me, he still supports my choice. Conis said with a smile. Please take good care of Conis in the future. The uncle said with a smile, but his eyes showed sadness. After all, he was about to be separated from his precious daughter. Don't worry, I will protect my crew with my life, and I will never let anyone hurt Conis. Amber said with firm eyes. Then, please do it from now on. Captain. Conis stretched out his hand. Amber pulled Conis onto the boat steadily. We are partners, just call me by my name, no need to call me an adult. Please take care of me. Please take care of me. Chapter 31 Second Mission Reward. Amber and the others returned to the ground through the exhaust shells and the giant octopus. Haha, we are finally back to the ground. It was a bit difficult to breathe on Sky Island. Nami stretched lazily, showing her sexy figure. Yeah, it's better on the ground. Chopper said with emotion while lying on the railing of the ship and looking into the distance. Don't relax. There are many powerful enemies on the ground. Amber suddenly interrupted the atmosphere at this time. You are really unromantic. Nami rolled her eyes at Amber. Amber could only smile helplessly. Unknowingly, Amber had found 5 crew members. The crew of the Sky Shadow Pirates. Captain Amber, Swordsman Zoro, Navigator Nami, Ship Doctor Chopper, Spare Food Archaeologist Robin, and the last Chef Conis. The second system task was finally completed, and Amber hurriedly called the system for settlement. System, it's time to wake up and come out to clean the floor. Ding, dear host, please don't insult this system. This system has never slept and has been silently guarding you with due diligence. The system spoke slowly. Stop talking nonsense, settle it for me. Amber didn't believe a word of the system's nonsense. Ding. Settlement in progress. Congratulations, host has completed the second system task. Evaluation in progress. Please wait. Task requirements. Find 5 excellent crew members. Host has found 5 crew members, and is testing the crew members' abilities. The excellent ability rating is reached, and the task completion evaluation is excellent. Get a purple lottery. The system prompts. Alas. Another excellent evaluation. Perfect evaluation is really hard to get, but excellent evaluation is not bad. Amber is still quite satisfied. Last time, Conqueror's Haki was opened, although the last Conquerors was cheated by the system. But without Haki, Amber can't beat Crocodile. In the end, neither of the two Logia without Haki can attack each other. System, draw a lottery. Amber ordered the system. Host now has a purple lottery. Do you want to use it? Use. The same big turntable as last time appeared in front of Amber, but the names of the items on the turntable were completely different from last time. The pointer on the turntable began to rotate faster and faster, and finally exceeded the level that the naked eye could observe, and then slowly stopped. Amber looked over and saw that the item pointed by the pointer was written, Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha Itachi version. FK. Amber couldn't help but burst out a swear word. Sharingan, such a cool and dazzling plug-in, was drawn by him. What's wrong, Amber? Amber's sudden voice attracted the attention of other people on the ship. It's okay, I just suddenly thought of something. Amber laughed and fooled it. Ding. Congratulations host for obtaining Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha Itachi version, do you want to use it? The system prompts. Use. Amber can't wait to say. In use. Installation completed. Please check it, host. Amber's eyes suddenly turned blood red, and there was a mysterious windmill pattern in her eyes, and then immediately turned back to black eyes, and no one noticed. Hey, system, Sharingan needs chakra to operate. How can I use it without chakra? Amber suddenly remembered that she didn't have chakra in the Hokage world, so she asked. Host, please don't use your ignorance to imagine the items produced by the system. The system mocked Amber first. This pair of Sharingan has been improved by the system a long time ago, and no longer needs chakra. It consumes your physical strength to operate this pair of Sharingan. That's good. Amber ignored the system's ridicule. Amber suddenly thought that the Mangekyo Sharingan, which was not the eternal eye in the original work, could become blind if used too much. She looked carefully at the Mangekyo on the inventory, and there was no word eternity in front of it. Amber asked uncertainly, System, if I use this pair of Sharingan too much, I won't be blind like Uchiha Sasuke, right? I don't have any brothers in this world to change my eyes. Way, the system replied with one word concisely and clearly. Amber couldn't help but feel a pity, she thought it was the ultimate move that could be used infinitely. Unexpectedly, it turned into a last-minute ultimate move. At this moment, the system said again, although using Mangekyo will still consume pupil power, it can be recovered through rest. That's okay, it can be considered a fake eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Amber breathed a sigh of relief, after all, it is not as irreversible as Uchiha Sasuke. Okay, system, you can continue to hide in the toilet. Amber turned her back and refused to recognize anyone after getting the advantage, and just let the system continue to sleep in the toilet. The system continued to hide without saying a word. Amber opened his properties panel. Name. Open black lens bracket Amber close black lens bracket. Age. Open black lens bracket 17 close black lens bracket. Power. 7 stars. Agility. 7 stars. Physique. 6 stars. Spirit. 8 stars. The average person is 1 star. Devil Fruit. Thunder Fruit 7 stars. Haki. Armed Color 6.5 stars. Information Color 6 stars. Conquerors Unawakened. Equipment. Mangekyo Sharingan Uchiha Itachi version. Comprehensive Combat Power. 7.5 stars, 8.5 Equipment Bonus. There is an additional equipment column in the system panel. After the battle with Vice Admiral and Shichibukai, Amber's various statistics have improved, but it will probably become more difficult as you go to the later stages. For example, even if all abilities are 8 stars later, plus the bonus of equipment, it is estimated that it will not reach the level of combat power of the 9-star 4 Emperors. Monsters of this level have almost perfect abilities in all their abilities. With an 8.5-star comprehensive combat power boosted by Mangekyo Sharingan, he is basically the strongest in the Shichibukai battle except for Hawkeye. In the Imperial Vice level, his combat power should be similar to that of Marco, the captain of the Whitebeard 1st Division. Marco relies on the powerful restorative power of the Phoenix Fruit, and Amber relies on the Mangekyo Sharingan. However, Amber will not be proud. You must know that Luffy, who defeated Katakuri in the original work, was beaten by 4 Emperors Kaido of the Beasts with a stick. Maybe it has something to do with Luffy's preference for force, but it is undeniable that he wants to be like 4 Emperors. The levels are head-to-head. Those who are less than 9 stars will definitely be killed instantly. But Amber is not Luffy. He uses delaying tactics and does not fight head-on. He can even delay the 4 Emperors in a short period of time. As for retreat, with the speed of lightning, no one can stop him except Kizaru, who also has the speed of lightning. If he wants to escape, no one can stop him. On this day, Amber suddenly received a note from Marine, which invited Amber to become the 7 warlords of the sea. Amber looked at the note and wondered whether she should agree. Chapter 32. However, I refuse. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 308. 77. 103. Do you think you should accept the invitation from the world government? Amber gathered all the crew members and showed them the invitation sent by Marine. The scene was quiet for dozens of seconds. I agree. We have made too much noise recently. If we don't agree, I am afraid that Marine will send a strong force to encircle us, and it may even be Marine Admiral. Now, except for the captain, we are too weak. Zoro analyzed it seriously. Then, I agree too. Nami also agreed. The rest of the crew members agreed, and only Robin said nothing. Amber looked at Robin, only to see Robin clenching his fists with a painful expression. Robin hated the world government the most. Her hometown Ohara was destroyed by the world government's order with Buster Call, but this was her hatred, and she didn't want to affect the Sora pirates. Of course I agree. Sorry everyone, I feel a little uncomfortable, I will go back to my room to rest. Robin forced a smile, then stood up and apologized to everyone, then turned back to his room. Robin, are you sick? Do you want me to help you? Chopper shouted at Robin's back. But Robin seemed not to hear and continued to walk towards her room. Robin is not sick, Chopper. Amber touched Chopper's little head. You should know that Robin is from Ohara. Everyone nodded, because Amber had said before that Robin's hometown was called Ohara. Actually, Ohara no longer existed 20 years ago, Amber said heavily. What? Nami exclaimed. Others were also shocked. 20 years ago, Ohara was ordered to be massacred by the world government. A joint fleet of 10 warships, 5 vice admirals and an admiral turned Ohara into a sea of fire and indiscriminately attacked all the people on Ohara. Everyone died. In the end, only Robin escaped. Robin, who was only 8 years old, was rewarded 79 million berries by the world government. In this vast ocean, he experienced the pursuit of the world government alone, and was used, betrayed and deceived by countless people. This is Robin's childhood. Amber spoke of Robin's experience in a heavy voice. Quote. Robin. The two most emotional girls, Nami and Conis, covered their mouths and couldn't believe it, and their tears were already flowing down. Nami originally thought that her childhood was very unfortunate. If she hadn't met Amber and saved her in the end, she might have fought with the dragon and died in the hands of the dragon. But compared with the darkness that Robin experienced, Nami at least had her sister Nokiko, Mr. Aegean, and everyone in the village, but Robin, she has nothing. Wow, Robin is so pitiful. Chopper couldn't help crying. Chopper was also a person who had experienced darkness, but Chopper also had the salvation of Dr. Halulik and the company of Dr. Doriel, but Robin. Zoro lowered his head and said nothing, but his fists were shaking. Amber looked at everyone's expressions, and it was obvious that the answer had come out. So, what is our response? Amber said with a smile. Reject. X5. Although it is very willful, although it is very irrational, although it may lead to a large-scale encirclement and suppression by Marine, or even the dispatch of Marine Admiral, and even everyone may die. However, I refuse. Robin in the room heard the conversation of everyone and couldn't help but burst into tears. Quote. Everyone. Naval Headquarters, Marineford. What? This? Thunder? Amber actually refused. How dare he? Sengoku looked incredulous. I didn't expect that the plan would be disrupted from the beginning. This, Thunder, Amber is really an unexpected man. Crane Vice Admiral on the side drank a cup of tea and said slowly. Ha ha ha, this Thunder boy is so surprising. Vice Admiral Garp laughed while eating senbei. A-hole Garp, please be more serious. Sengoku yelled at Garp. What to do now? Thunder. Amber killed the 7 warlords of the sea set by the world government, and now she has rejected Shichibukai's invitation. After all, she still has to deal with him. Otherwise, Marine, and even the majesty of the world government, will suffer a major blow. Sengoku said seriously. The only way is to encircle and suppress him forcefully, but with the combat power he has shown, coupled with the speed of lightning, Admiral has to take action to defeat him 100%. Crane Vice Admiral Kaido. Admiral has the highest combat power of Marine and is not usually easily dispatched. But now this, Thunder. Amber is already a thorny problem. According to the data, this guy has only been at sea for a few months and is so strong. If he continues sailing, maybe he will become as powerful as the 4 monsters in New World. Moreover, he is actually carrying one of the taboos of the world government, Nico Robin, so he must not be allowed to sail anymore and he must be eliminated. Sengoku said seriously. Where is their next sailing destination? Sengoku asked the adjutant next to him. Report to the marshal that their next destination is the capital of 7 waters, the adjutant replied. Okay, inform me Spandam, and his plan can begin. We must capture the devil's son, Nico Robin. Isn't Xingzi on vacation? Inform him that the vacation has been postponed, and ask him to cooperate with CP9's actions. The Sky Shadow Pirates must be wiped out in one go. Sengoku issued orders one after another in an orderly manner. There is a parasol standing on a beach, and under the umbrella is a man wearing an eye patch. Ah, my vacation has been extended. I have to work again. Xingzi, one of the 3 Marine admirals who received the order, said lazily. In his hand, he held the reward list of the Sky Shadow Pirates, and the one on the top was Nicole Robin's reward. The Shadow Pirates. Is this the partner you found? Xingzi murmured to himself as he looked at Robin's bounty order. Then turned to the second one, Amber's reward. Thunder. Amber. Then let me see if you have the strength to protect Nico Robin, the son of the devil. Then Xingzi stuffed the reward order into his pocket, got on his bicycle, and rode towards the sea. On the sea he was moving forward, the sea quickly froze, forming an ice road. He was the frozen man who ate the Logia frozen fruit, and possessed the terrifying power of freezing the sea. After several days of sailing, Amber and others finally arrived at the place where ships are built first in the world, the capital of 7 waters. As much as I hate to say it, the performance of the Thunder can no longer keep up with our progress. We need a new ship. Amber said seriously. How is that possible? The Thunderbolt is obviously fine. Nami and the others said in disbelief. In the original book, They are a group of guys who love boats and regard boats as their companions. Our next journey will be more dangerous. Needless to say, there will be various natural disasters. Next, there will be a large-scale siege by Marine. The speed of the Thunder is too slow. After all, it is a modified ordinary merchant ship. It can bring us here. It has reached its limit. If it continues to carry us, it is very likely that we will remain silent in the sea forever. Amber calmly stated this cruel fact. Thunder. After a period of painful struggle, everyone had to accept the fact that the Thunder had reached its limit, and decided to accompany it well in its last days. I'm going to use the gold I got from Sky Island to buy a trunk from Adam's tree, and build a dream ship that will carry our will and the Thunder's will. Chapter 33 Prologue. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 549. 137. 183. Amber, who should we find to build the boat? Nami asked aloud. There used to be a Tom's workshop here. The owner of the workshop was Tom, the fish boat builder. He was the man who built the boat for Pirate King Galdi. Roger. But he was later arrested by the world government and sent to Enies lobby for execution. But he has 2 apprentices. One of them, Bingshan, opened a shipyard here called Bingshan Studio. Our goal is to find him to help build a new ship. Amber responded. Soon, Amber and Nami headed to the iceberg studio, while the others stayed on the boat. Around the shipyard, countless shipwrecks lay quietly on the shore. Welcome to Bingshan Studio, I am the shipbuilder Bingshan. At this time, a tall and thin man came out of the studio. Hello, I am Amber. I would like to entrust Mr. Iceberg to help build an unparalleled ship. Amber said with a smile. Oh, of course, I don't know what kind of boat the guests want. Bingshan responded. Amber then handed over a design drawing of a modern world steel battleship to Bingshan, just treat it as a gift from the system, I don't know how it came about anyway. Huh, a ship surrounded by steel. This is the first time I have seen it. The way it travels is not by the wind, but by the spiral device under the ship. Interesting. Please allow me to take the liberty of asking, what energy does it rely on? Started. Bingshan looked at the drawing and asked doubtfully. By electricity. Amber stretched out his hand, and a small lightning flashed in his hand. I'm the Thunderman who ate devil fruit. Amber explained. As that's so, it is indeed a genius idea. I really want to communicate with the author of this drawing. Bingshan said with emotion. I also arrived by chance. Amber quickly covered it up. By the way, there is a batch of Adam's tree wood on the recent black market, which is very suitable for building the main part of this ship. If you are interested, I can help you buy it. Bingshan suddenly released the news. Is it the kind of wood that will never sink? Of course we want it. Amber said with a smile. Originally, Amber planned to buy a piece of wood from the Adam's tree, but unfortunately she never found a way, but now Mr. Bingshan said that he has a way. Amber is of course a dream come true. Sky Island's gold Amber and the others sold 800 million belly. The cost of building the ship plus the cost of purchasing the Adam's tree cost a total of 300 million belly, which made Nami, who loves money as much as life, heartbroken. How long does it take to build this ship? Amber asked. The design of this ship is very complex and will take about 2 months. Okay, we will pick up the boat on time in 2 months. Amber and Bingshan agreed to pick up the ship in 2 months. In Iceberg Studio, Amber naturally saw those CP9s, but it was not the time to expose them yet, and then destroy them after they had worked so hard to build their own ships. When Amber and Nami went to Iceberg Studio, Robin also said that he wanted to go for a walk, so he went alone. Nicole Robin, you should know your situation, right? Although, Thunder, Amber is very strong, this time Marine has deployed the highest combat power Admiral. No matter how strong he is, he cannot be Admiral's opponent. A masked man the person said calmly. Robin clenched his fists, his expression struggling. Do you want to watch all your friends die? You should understand the sin on your body. People like you will not have partners, and you are destined to die miserably alone. The masked man threatened coldly. After going on adventures with everyone, the Sky Shadow Pirates already have a heavy weight in Robin's heart. Suddenly, the chorus of rejection on the pirate ship came to Robin's mind again. Echoed in his mind, a person like me actually has a partner. Quote. I'll go with you. Robin didn't want to drag down Amber and others, so he finally gave in. But she doesn't know that world government and Marine's target this time is the entire Sky Shadow Pirates. Amber and Nami returned to the Thunder. Amber decided to go to the Devil's Triangle first to kill Gecko Moria, known as the Shame of Shichibukai, and snatch the Shadow Fruit to Conis, the only one in the team who had no fighting ability. Where did Robin go? Amber asked strangely when she saw Robin was not there. Robin said he wanted to go out for a walk by himself. Chopper responded. Amber suddenly felt that this plot was a bit familiar, but it shouldn't be. It took me a year and a half, and my strength is much stronger than the Straw Hat Pirates in the original work. Just one crocodile can protect Robin for 8 years. There is no reason why Robin, the one who defeated Crocodile, would have no confidence in himself. Then there is only one possibility. Marine has deployed its combat power above Shichibukai, and that is, Marine Admiral. Only with this possibility will Robin think that we have no power to fight back, so he plans to sacrifice himself to protect us. Thinking of this, Amber's face became very ugly. I quickly used my hard net to sense the Seven Waters capital, and after searching several times I finally found Robin at the dock. Now she was walking towards a warship, followed by several world government CP organizations wearing masks. Damn it! Amber cursed and ran outside quickly. Amber, what happened? The others looked puzzled when they saw the usually calm captain suddenly changed his expression and ran out quickly. No time to explain. After Amber said this, the element transformed into a bolt of lightning and headed in the direction of the dock. Lighten's speed was incredible, and he reached the dock in an instant. Robin! Amber shouted immediately. Several masked world government lackeys immediately stopped in front of Amber. Quote. Amber. Robin looked back at Amber in surprise. What are you doing? Aren't you friends outside? Why don't you believe us? I don't understand what you are talking about. I will officially quit the Sky Shadow Pirates today. It was you who forced me to join your pirate group in the first place. Today I met my trusted partners. They are my true partner. Robin was stunned for a moment, then said decisively. I won't let you go. Since you said I forced you to join, then I will keep forcing you. My pirate group is only allowed to join and not quit. Amber said calmly, and then step by step to the direction of Robin. Don't even think about moving forward, finger pistol. Several members of the world government CP group Amber used the finger pistol attack, covering the sea with Haki. Get out of here. 60 million volts. Brontosaurus. Amber raised her hand and released a huge, dazzling Brontosaurus. Break. Several members of the CP organization used finger pistol to directly break the lightning and continued to attack Amber. Amber smiled coldly, then let's go head on. His hands were covered in military colors and he faced each other. Boom. A violent Haki collision of lightning broke out among several people. Chapter 34 Fierce Fight. With a boom, Amber and several members of the CP organization took a few steps back. During the confrontation between several people, Robin had been taken to the warship and started driving towards Enies' lobby. Amber looked solemn. These CP organization members were not comparable to the level of Rob Lucci and others. I'm afraid they were hidden masters of the world government. 100 million volts. Discharge. Extremely violent thunder and lightning ravaged the earth like silver snakes dancing wildly, and everything they passed was pitch black. Faced with such a powerful attack, several members of the CP organization with masks looked at each other and stretched out their hands to form a human wall to resist, just like the three admirals resisting Whitebeard's shock wave. After a loud noise, the CP members were unscathed. But before they could make any move, thunder was already rolling in the sky, and lightning struck down one after another, turning the entire dock into a sea of thunder. Block. Try blocking another one for me. While Amber was attacking crazily, she suddenly disappeared instantly and an attack landed on the same spot, creating a big crater. The CP organization is worthy of being the secret force of the world government. In just a moment, several people resisted the attack, giving one person a chance to escape from the lightning strike, and then took the opportunity to sneak attack Amber, but in the end they were sensed by Amber's sight and teleported away. The speed of thunder and lightning is too troublesome. The member of the CP organization who made the sneak attack said regretfully. You can only use that one trick. Amber thought silently in her heart. 20 million volts. Thunder God. A large amount of lightning gathered all over Amber's body, her hair stood up, and finally her entire body was covered with blue thunder and lightning. She looked like the legendary god of thunder who despised all living beings. Her appearance was very similar to that of Sikong Gen in the pesticide. Similar. Enel's Thor is too ugly, please change it. What kind of move is this? Several CP organization members were a little surprised. Thunder Spear. He raised his right hand and instantly formed a blue lightning spear, which gradually changed to white due to the action of electric charge, emitting a dazzling white light. The Thunder Spear attacked one of the CP organization members at a speed that could not be reached by the naked eye. Before he could react, it had penetrated his heart. How could it be so fast? The CP organization member fell to the ground unwillingly. So fast, I didn't even see his movements. The other members of the CP organization were so frightened that they stepped on the ground, kept using their shavers to change their positions, and kept getting closer to Amber. Amber stretched out her hands and said, Thunder Dragon roaring. Dozens of thunder dragons appeared around Amber, and the whole world was filled with lightning and thunder, like a world-destroying thunder god. Two more CP organization members were hit by the dancing lightning and fell to the ground. In line with the practice of making sure to hit the enemy when they fall, Amber focused all the thunder dragons on the two of them. The two of them didn't even have a chance to make a sound this time and were struck by dozens of thunder and lightning. At first, they could resist it with their armed colors, but after a second, they could no longer resist it and turned directly into charcoal. You're the only one left. Amber looked at the last CP organization member and said coldly. Wait a minute. Thunder, Amber, I can tell you Marine's plan, as long as you let me go. The CP organization member said in a hurry. Oh, then tell me, Amber said with a smile. Marine's original target was the design of the legendary ancient weapon, Pluton. We originally suspected it was Tom's disciple Bingshan, so we sent members of CP9 to become boatmen to go undercover, but later we found that we had made a mistake and the design was hidden in. We had already planned to capture another of Tom's disciples, a reformed man named Franky, but Marshal Sengoku of Naval Headquarters suddenly sent a message asking us to advance the plan. It's because I rejected Shichibukai's invitation and caused Marine and world government to lose face, so they changed their plans to deal with us, right? This is just one aspect. The other aspect is that you actually have Nicole Robin by your side. You are the only person in the world who can read the text of history. If you accept Shichibukai's position, maybe Marine and world government can turn a blind eye. One eye, after all, Crocodile is like that, but you refused. The CP organization member shook his head. Quote, then what's your plan? With your lightning speed, if you want to run away, no one can catch up except Admiral Kizaru. That's why I want to use Nico Robin to lead you to Enies lobby. Admiral Kizaru will be there. You will definitely run by then. It won't fall. This member of the CP organization explained clearly. Amber suddenly disappeared and then appeared behind him with a hand on his shoulder. What do you want to do? I've said everything I can say. A member of the CP organization asked in a panic. I don't have the habit of leaving enemies behind. 100 million volts. Discharge. The dazzling thunder and lightning swallowed him up instantly. D, why don't you stop? He finally roared unwillingly and was electrocuted into charcoal. Looking at the sea, Amber tried, but could no longer sense the position of the warship, so there was only one way left to go. At this time, other members of the Sky Shadow Pirates arrived. Amber, who were you fighting just now? Where's Robin? The outspoken Nami asked first. Let's go back and talk about it first. Amber said seriously. Quote. That's it. Robin decided to sacrifice herself to give us a chance to survive, but she didn't know that this was actually Marine's conspiracy. Amber slowly told what happened. Assholes, how can they be so shameless? Nami cursed angrily. Miss Robin, she did it for us. Conis said sadly. Others also became sad. Captain, what do you decide to do next? Zoro asked calmly from the side. Amber said in an extremely firm tone, everyone, let's go to the so-called Enies lobby to rescue Robin. Yes, we must rescue Robin. Nami said loudly. Robin will be fine, and I will fight with everyone this time. Chopper said firmly. Although we don't have much fighting power, I will always be with you. Conis clenched his fists. So, the goal is, Enies lobby. Chapter 35 Attack Enies lobby. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 606. 152. 202. But how are we going to get there? Taking a boat is too slow. Robin might have been taken away by the time we wait. As a navigator, Nami is undoubtedly the most familiar with boat speed. Everyone was silent. Amber was also thinking secretly. At this time, Mr. Bingshan, the mayor of the Seven Waters City, came to the door. Mr. Bingshan, what's the matter with you? Amber asked in confusion. I heard that your partner Nicole Robin was taken to Enies lobby by the CP organization. You should be worried about how to get to Enies lobby quickly. I think I can help you. You should have heard of the sea train, right? Mr. Bingshan replied. Sea train. If you carry that thing, you can definitely catch up with Robin. Nami shouted excitedly. Mr. Bingshan, why are you helping us? Or do you have anything to ask us for? Amber said calmly. That's right. I hope you can help me save another person. He was also captured by the world government's lackeys. That person's name is Franky, and he is a pervert. Mr. Bingshan asked. Amber thought for a while and agreed. After all, Franky's shipbuilding skills were inherited from Tom the Fishman, and he also had Pluton's design drawings with him. Let's see if we can get him to join the pirate group. In addition, Amber also learned that Rob Lucci's CP9s had disappeared, presumably it was Franky they had captured. Soon, with the help of Mr. Bingshan, I found a sea train that was willing to go to Enies lobby, the one of Grandma Kokoluo. Franky's younger brothers originally wanted to go with them to rescue their eldest brother, but Amber rejected them outright. After all preparations were completed, Amber and others took the sea train and set off. Report, the Sky Shadow Pirates are approaching Enies lobby. A Marine reported to CP9 Commander Spandam. I didn't expect this group of pirates to actually dare to come, Nico. Robin, you really have found a good partner. Spandam smiled at Robin, who was handcuffed with Seastone on the side. You promised not to do anything to them. Robin shouted angrily. We just promised not to take the initiative to attack the Shadow Pirates, but now it's your friends who come to attack us without knowing the truth. Spandam laughed mischievously. Robin wanted to hit Spandam with his body, but Rob Lucci grabbed his arm next to him. Amber, Nami, everyone. Don't come to save me, just leave. Robin said silently in his mind. The sea train gradually approached the gate of Enies lobby. Amber looked at the wall lined with rows of Marines holding various weapons. 100 million volts. God's sanction. Amber raised her hand and 100 million volts of lightning struck the door of Enies lobby. The door was shattered into pieces, and the sea train rushed past with almost no pause. Quick, aim at Thunder Amber and attack. Marines armed with various weapons such as artillery and guns launched an attack on the sea train. Thunder net. Amber stretched out her hand to form a power grid, covering the entire sea train in the power grid. Bang, bang, bang. All the bullets and shells were blocked. It's rude to come back without reciprocating. 200 million volts. Kirin. Amber frantically enlarged her move and stretched her right hand towards the sky. In an instant, the color of the sky and the earth changed, and thunder clouds gathered. Then, what is that? Thunder, what does Amber want to do? Quick, run away. Some Marines with stronger sixth senses sensed the aura of danger, ignored everything, dropped their weapons and ran away. A unicorn made of thunder and lightning poked its head out of the clouds as if looking at a small insect, then its entire body, and finally swooped towards the front island of Enies lobby. Boom. A huge sound shook the world. The entire main entrance of Enies' lobby collapsed, and the marine on the wall was completely vaporized by lightning. How? How is it possible? How dare you attack the world government when you are just a pirate? Do you want to be the enemy of the world government? Spandam shouted in horror from the top of the Justice Tower. The sea train finally stopped. Amber stood on the top of the sea train. Except for Conis, the other combat-capable crew members stood behind Amber. Becoming an enemy of the world government. It seems interesting. Let's give it a try. Amber said calmly. Crazy. You crazy people. Spandam was so frightened that he collapsed on the ground. Amber looked at Robin, who looked worried next to her. Robin, who allowed you to leave my pirate group without permission? Amber, I am a sinful person. Anyone who has anything to do with me will end up with nothing good in the end. I don't want to drag you down again and again. What will you think if this kind of thing goes on again and again? Sooner or later, you will be regarded as a criminal. The burden will betray me sooner or later. Robin said with tears in his eyes, that's why I don't want you to save me. What are you talking about? I have always forced you to stay in my pirate group. Without my permission, not even Shinigami can take you away. Nico Robin, you are my partner. World government, I can't protect you, I'm telling you. Amber stared at Robin and said with a smile. Everyone behind him smiled. Robin, although I will definitely take you away today, I still want to ask your opinion. Do you want to go sailing with us? Many pictures suddenly appeared in Robin's mind, and the people in the pictures had ferocious faces or were roaring ferociously. You don't deserve to live in this world. Your existence is a heinous crime. Her memory returned to Ohara, what the giant had said to her as he fell to the ground. Robin, the sea is very broad. One day, there will be companions who want to protect you. I want to live, I want to sail with you. Please take me with you. Robin shouted. Franky next to Robin was also crying profusely, saying something like, you guys are so awesome. ... Nicole Robin, you have really found a good group of partners. Qingzi, who was standing in the dark and observing all this, murmured to himself. Chapter 36. First Battle Marine Admiral. Interesting for you. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. 285. 74. 249. Suddenly a thick layer of ice formed on the sea. What is this ability? It can't be wrong. One of the three admirals with the highest combat power in Marine, the Qingzi Admiral. Enies' lobby Marine, who was originally frightened by Amber's ultimate move, cheered when he saw the frozen sea. Ah, what a bunch of random pirates. But I can't let you go anymore. A figure slowly walked on the frozen sea, it was Marine Admiral Qingzi. Marine Admiral. Amber looked at Qingzi walking over and narrowed her eyes. With her current self, it is absolutely impossible to defeat Marine Admiral. If it is an extreme admiral like Akainu, Amber will not be able to save Robin even if she fights to the death. But Qingzi may still have some possibilities, after all, he was the one who let Robin go with his own hands in the first place. Everyone, the Marine Admiral will be handed over to me later, and you go rescue Robin. Amber said calmly to the people behind her. Yeah, but that's the Marine Admiral. Nami said worriedly. Nami, he is our captain. Just leave it to him. Before Nami could finish speaking, Zoro interrupted. Okay, I get it. Amber walked towards Qingzi alone. Are you the Thunder Amber who made a lot of noise recently? You are so confident. You came to stop me all by yourself. Qingzi said lazily. I'm looking forward to playing against the legendary Marine Admiral. Amber said with a smile. You are so bold. I didn't expect you actually dared to attack Enies' lobby. You should already know that this is a trap for you. To be honest, if you want to escape with your lightning speed, even I can't do anything. Are you sure don't you want to run away now? I am a very domineering person. Now that Nicole and Robin have joined my pirate group, she will always be my crew member. No one can take her away, not even the so-called world government. Amber's tone left no room for doubt. Said. Oh, so, does your strength support you to do this? Qingzi asked. You can try. 100 million volts. Thunder Dragon. After saying this, Amber raised her hand and a bolt of lightning came out. Qingzi didn't make any movement, and an ice wall automatically rose under his feet to isolate the lightning. With a boom, thunder and lightning struck the ice wall fiercely. When Zoro and the others saw Amber taking action, they hurriedly started running towards Robin, the Justice Tower, but Qingzi ignored them and let them leave. It doesn't seem to be very good. Qingzi said lazily. Did he resist the Brontosaurus without even using his hands? This is the strength of Marine Admiral, it is really strong. 200 million volts. Thor. Amber knew that to deal with such a powerful person, it was best to show her true strength from the beginning, so she directly transformed into Thor mode. Raising his hand, dozens of thunder and lightning struck Qingzi. Seeing dozens of thunder and lightning coming, Qingzi also put away his indifferent expression, became serious, opened his hands, a large amount of ice condensed, and instantly condensed into an iceberg hundreds of meters high and pushed towards the thunder and lightning. Boom! The attacks from both sides collided, causing a huge explosion. Thunder and ice melted together, releasing a large amount of water vapor that filled the surrounding area. The surrounding water vapor slowly dispersed, and Marine present finally saw the figures of Qingzi and Amber standing opposite each other, and they all exclaimed. It's actually a tie. How is it possible that someone can actually fight against Admiral? That is Marine's highest combat power. I must be dreaming. It's quite powerful. No wonder it can defeat the flying squirrels, Vice Admiral and Crocodile. Xingzi said calmly. Marine Admiral is indeed the strongest fighter. Amber also replied. After saying that, the figure disappeared in an instant, and then appeared behind Xingzi, with his fists covered in armor and waving quickly. The moment Amber disappeared, Xingzi turned back and kicked her. The weapons on their fists and feet collided violently, and black lightning surrounded the two people. Within 2 seconds of the stalemate, Amber was kicked out. Compared to the weapons, Amber was still far behind the top masters. After landing, Amber stabilized her body and fired thousands of small lightning pillars from the palm of her right hand. Amber seemed to transform into the Thunder King and bombarded Xingzi wildly. Bang, bang, bang. The entire ice surface was pockmarked. Xingzi used ice to make a protective shield for herself, blocking all thunder and lightning. I don't believe you can block them all. All kinds of thunder and lightning moves are bombarding the ice shield, including Thunder Dragon, Thunder Bird, God's Sanction, Thunder, and Thunder. The ice cover finally couldn't withstand it and broke into pieces, but Xingzi was unscathed. It turned out that Xingzi made a long icicle as a lightning rod, which led most of the lightning to the ground. The 3 ice birds made of ice from Baozuzu flew towards Amber. Amber teleported directly to dodge. For most attacks, Amber could easily dodge through speed. It's such a nerve-wracking speed. What about this move, Ice Age? Xingzi stretched out his hands forward, and the cold air instantly froze everything for several kilometers around, and spread to the entire Enies lobby. However, it did not cause any harm to the Marine in Enies lobby, so he focused on taking care of Amber's location. Range attack. Amber thought silently, stretched out her right hand, compressed the lightning in her hand to ultimate, and shot it out fiercely, like a spear, as fast as ultimate. Thor's spear. The Thunder God's spear instantly penetrated Xingzi's body, and Xingzi was blasted into a pile of ice slag. Amber was unforgiving, and hundreds of thunder and lightning struck Xingzi's direction. After about 10 seconds of bombardment, Amber stopped panting. No matter how powerful the Marine Admiral was, he couldn't remain intact under such an attack. When the smoke dissipated, Xingzi was still standing there, but there was a large pit hundreds of meters wide under his feet. Xingzi's clothes were in tatters, and his right arm was also blackened. He must have been injured by electricity. Is this the battle of the strong? Looking at the changed terrain around them, the Marines were surprised. Can you still fight? Xingzi asked calmly. Certainly. It looked like it was always a tie, but Amber knew in her heart that it was because the other party had been playing around and not using their real strength at all. While Amber had used all her strength except Sharingan, there was still a huge gap. Do you still have confidence? Ice Cube. 2-thorn spear. Xingzi jumped up and fired the ice spear. Chapter 37 Mangekyo Sharingan shows his power. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 194. 49. 65. The attack just now had consumed most of Amber's physical strength, and for a young man like Admiral, this might not even be considered a warm-up. After all, he was someone who had been fighting Akainu for 10 days and nights. Don't strong people have to go to the toilet? Ice spears burst towards Amber. Amber transformed into an element again to dodge, but Xingzi immediately captured Amber's position with her sense of sight, and rushed over instantly with her shave. Although the speed of thunder and lightning was very fast, Amber's nerve reaction speed could not keep up, and Xingzi, who was catching up, grabbed her arm with one hand. Oops. Amber clearly remembered that enemies touched by Xingzi would be frozen. Freezing moment. Xingzi read out the name of the move calmly. Amber was immediately frozen into an ice sculpture, still maintaining her surprised expression. Is that all? Xingzi said with a disappointed expression on his face. It's over. As expected of Admiral. Get serious and solve it in an instant. Long live. The Marines present cheered. Put him on the warship and take him to naval headquarters. Marshal Sengoku still has something to ask him. Xingzi put his hands in his pockets and turned around, wanting to go inside Enies lobby to capture other pirate members. Click, click, came a strange sound from behind. Yeah, you can actually break free from my ice. Xingzi turned back and looked at Amber's ice sculpture in surprise. Bang! The ice cubes on Amber's body exploded, and a row of crimson skeletons appeared around her body. Interesting. What is your ability? It's not like your fruit ability, nor is it like Haki. Is it a race-specific ability similar to the Fur Tribe's electric discharge? Xingzi asked with interest. Quote. You can call this move Susanoo. Amber explained lightly, then hummed softly, evolving Susanoo into the 4th form of Crow Tengu, with 10 fists and a 8-foot mirror appearing in her hands. Using Susanoo is very stressful on the body, but fortunately, the strong men in the world of pirates are much stronger than ninjas, so the side effect of making Uchiha Itachi vomit blood is only to make Amber feel uncomfortable, but it will still consume her pupils. First of all, after the first use, Amber entered the form of Crow Tengu, inevitably leaving 2 lines of blood in her eyes. It looks like a very powerful move. But then you can't rely on the speed of thunder and lightning. Looking at the giant that Amber transformed into, Xingzi felt a wave of uneasiness, but she also saw that Amber couldn't do it at this time. Teleport. Ice cube. Juvenile mouth. 2 ice birds flew towards Amber. Amber wants to test Susanoo's defense, so she doesn't use the 8-foot mirror defense. Bang! The ice bird hit Susanoo hard, and the area where it was hit started to freeze, but it did nothing to Susanoo. The red light flashed, and the ice on the frame disappeared. It looks like the defense is very strong. Then let's look at this move, Ice Ball. Shinji jumped up and released 5 icicles, trying to freeze Susanoo completely. Yasaka Magatama. Amber no longer sat still and fought back immediately. A red rotating energy ball appeared in Susanoo's hand and then threw it out. Bang! The two attacks collided violently, and the smoke filled the air. Amber took the opportunity to control the Gundam and rushed towards Shinji, swiping down the 10-fist sword. Ice knife. Shinji put his hands together and then pulled them apart. An ice knife appeared. He held the ice knife and slashed at it. There is still a big difference between the ice knife and the 10-fist sword. The artifacts broke apart the moment they collided. The 10-fist sword was retracted and thrust out again. If it hit, it might be able to seal the Marine Admiral into the gourd. The instinct of a strong man has already told Shinji of the danger of the red sword. A several meter thick ice wall appeared around him, blocking the 10-fist sword. Amber controlled Susanoo to attack Shinji continuously, and Shinji could only use it continuously. You can escape or use an ice wall to block it, but the ice wall will be broken again in the next second. The young admiral was actually pressed down and beaten. It's impossible, am I dreaming? One of the Marines couldn't believe it and exclaimed. At this time, a big guy next to him called out, with a loud and clear, pop, sound. Why did you beat me, you B**************** D. The Marine yelled angrily at his colleagues. Here, isn't this a test for you to see if you are dreaming? A-hole, I can't spare you. The two Marines fought. The frozen fruit skill is more about control, and the damage should be regarded as the smallest among the 3 admirals. Facing the amazing defense of Susanoo, and the defensive artifact Bachi Mirror, Shinji used all his skills, but could not cause enough damage to break Susanoo. And Susanoo can repair the damaged areas as long as Amber still has physical strength, so it seems that Amber has suppressed Shinji. Shinji used Xiao again to dodge Amber's attack, and then covered her fist with dark armor and blasted at Susanoo, trying to violently break Susanoo with her armor. Boom! Susanoo's shell cracked again, but it was still not enough to blow up Susanoo completely, and it recovered after a few seconds. Shinji was also severely knocked away by the 8-foot mirror that was swung over, turning into a pile of ice slag. Huh. Amber panted violently. Susanoo was taking too much energy, and every time it was damaged and repaired, the energy consumption would increase. It doesn't seem like this is a skill that can be used for a long time. Shinji, who had transformed into another body, said lightly. In other words, I just need to fight a war of attrition with you and wait until your energy is exhausted. A trace of cold sweat broke out on Amber's head. Indeed, Shinji didn't need to break her defense. As long as she kept waiting, she would definitely lose. However, Amber never used Mangekyo's other 2 abilities, Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu. No matter how strong your will is, as long as you don't understand the characteristics of Tsukuyomi's move, you may be pulled into the Tsukuyomi space. Maybe a determined person can break through quickly, but in a battle between strong people, a moment of loss of consciousness can occur. It may become the key to victory or defeat. Amaterasu is even better. As long as it is burned, it will continue to burn unless the burned part is cut off like rakeage. Although Amaterasu's performance in Hokage is outstanding, you must know that this is a real world. Once it is burned, it cannot be extinguished. This setting is very strong. But now we have to wait for the opportunity. These 2 skills are only strong when the enemy does not understand their characteristics. They are strongest only when they are used for the first time. Chapter 38 Betting. How can we let Shinji show his flaws? A strong man like this has an extremely firm mind. Got it. Amber suddenly thought of a way. In the original book, Shinji and Akainu quit Marine and joined the Blackbeard pirates after they failed to compete for Martial Marine. Although many Hami believe that Shinji is Marine's undercover agent in Blackbeard, it is undeniable that Shinji does not agree with Marine's justice. His purpose in vying for Marine's Marshal should be to reform Marine with his own ideas. From the way he let Robin go, we can see that he is completely different from Akainu's extreme justice that even attacks refugee ships. Amber took Susanoo back because it was too physically demanding. Don't you use that skill of yours? Shinji asked doubtfully. Amber said silently, secretly thinking about how to use mouth escape on Shinji. You know what? The first thing I wanted to be was a Marine. Amber suddenly said. Oh, Shinji finally no longer had that indifferent tone. So I have been attacking pirates since I went to sea. I became a pirate hunter because I wanted to join the Justice Marine based on my merits. Later I found out that I was wrong. The so-called Justice Marine is also so dirty, colluding with pirates and oppressing the people, and even pointed the gun at the people. This Marine is too different from the Marine I imagined, so first killed the Marine Colonel and became the pirate you call me. Amber said lightly, I have read your information, and I feel very sorry that you became a pirate. It is indeed Marine's loss that someone as powerful as you did not join Marine. But, do you think you have seen the whole side of Marine? Although Marine also has some dark sides, Marine is an indispensable part of this world. In this chaotic era of pirates, Marine is the hope of ordinary people. Marine has protected civilians from many pirates. As for the scum among Marine, I can't prevent it, but I will clean it up when I encounter one. So, what about Ohara? Is that also to protect the people? You don't agree with this so-called justice, right? Otherwise, why did you let Robin go in the first place? Shinji's eyes tightened. It seems you know quite a lot. As Marine justice, pirates are evil. This concept has been rewritten countless times. Guys who don't know what peace is and people who don't know what war is have different values. Only those who stand at the top can define good and evil. Quote. I admit that in this chaotic era of great pirates, you Marines did protect most of the people, but how many crazy things have you done to maintain the rule of the world government? Shinzi remained silent, except Ohara, after the execution of Pirate King Gull. D. Roger, you Marine searched for One Piece's pregnant wife in South Blue and executed many innocent pregnant women. Is this the justice you call Marine? Sabaody Islands became world famous in the slave-gathering place. How many innocent people were turned into slaves by celestial dragons? How many families were destroyed and their wives were separated? Is this the justice you call Marine? Amber smiled disdainfully. You shout justice with your mouth, but behind your back you do things even more disgusting than pirates. Shinzi's face has become ugly. Because Amber deliberately spoke louder, the surrounding Marines also heard Amber's voice. Is what this pirate said true? We Marine actually did such a thing. It's most likely true, even if Shinzi Admiral doesn't refute it. Impossible, impossible, we are just Marines. Some people couldn't accept it and were hysterical. What on earth are we doing? Bang. Some Marines, who had their lifelong goal of marine justice, even shot themselves. What is justice? Shinzi was also confused about his own justice. Right now, there is a flaw. The weird pinwheel pattern in Amber's eyes rotated rapidly, staring closely at Shinzi, Tsukuyomi. Shinzi suddenly found that the scene around him had changed, and he came to an endless grassland. Shinzi immediately wanted to use his own knowledge and color to perceive the surroundings. Can't actually use Haki. Amber's figure suddenly appeared on the grass. Is this your move? Shinzi Admiral, you should have known that Marine is just a department under world government. World government has long been in decay. How can its departments have the justice you are looking for? So, Thunder Amber, what's your purpose? Let's make a bet. Bet. 20 years ago, when you let Robin go, didn't you want to see how far Robin could grow? Now Robin already has a group of reliable partners. Let's bet that without you or me taking action, my friends, if we can rescue Robin, please stop blocking our way. If we fail to rescue Robin, our end will be just one life. Amber said with a smile. With your speed, if you want to run, there is nothing I can do. Are you willing to give your life for Nico Robin? Shinzi said doubtfully. Of course, Robin is our partner. Amber said firmly. After coming out of Tsukuyomi's space, Amber pretended to be knocked away by Shinzi's attack and disappeared directly into a bolt of lightning. Thunder Amber ran away. The other Marines were stunned by this operation. The fierce battle just now was gone in an instant, which surprised them. Next, the Marines saw Shinzi Admiral using Moonwalk to chase in the direction of Thunder Amber. Don't worry, Shinzi Admiral is one of the highest combat forces in the naval headquarters. He will definitely be able to capture the pirates. Let's go inside to help. There was news just now that CP9 has almost been defeated. Kong Yinghai, the rest of the pirate crew are about to hit the Justice Tower. Because the other crew members have practiced the Haki training method given by Amber, their strength has been greatly improved, especially Zoro. In addition, Nami is a Logia fruit user, and the CP9 members do not know Haki. In simple terms, it is 4 words, protagonist halo. I guarantee they win. Others Marine would never have imagined that Marine Admiral would one day engage in match fixing. Chapter 39 Rescue Robin. Turning their attention back to the Enies lobby, Zoro, Nami and Chopper rushed towards the Justice Tower at a fast speed. Quick, stop them. Don't even think about it. Enies lobby's Marine rushed up to block the 3 of them. Don't block my way, you bunch of bastards. 3 knife style, tornado. Zoro took the lead, and the 3 swords were like an endless tornado, blowing away all the Marines blocking the way. Desert sword. Nami turned into an element, rushed into the Marines, and kept using various skills to harvest the Marines. None of the Marines in Enies lobby could Haki, and the elemental Nami was invincible. Under Amber's guidance, Chopper learned to master the monster form. In the original book, this was a move that Chopper only mastered 2 years later. The huge body just waved the wind driven by his arms to blow away the Marines one by one. The 3 of them broke through extremely fast, quickly breaking through the first gate and the second gate. No matter what giant they were along the way, Marine blocked them all and killed them all. The slightly stronger CP9 members were also eliminated by Nami and the 3 of them. They understood that the captain was desperately trying to delay Marine Admiral outside, so they could not waste a single second. When they were about to catch up with Robin, a man wearing a top hat and a dove on his shoulder stood in front of them. Who are you? Zoro asked warily, seeing that this man's aura was completely different. CP9 Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci said calmly, Nami, Chopper, this man is extraordinary. You go rescue Robin first and leave him to me. Understood. Nami, Chopper is not hypocritical. Knowing the current situation, he can only trust his partners. Nami, Chopper ran past Lucci without paying attention, staring closely at the man in front of him. His feeling told him that this man would be his strong enemy. Zoro slowly tied the bandana on his arm to his head and pulled out 3 knives. The 2 of them got into position. Shaving, Lucci took the lead and disappeared instantly, appearing behind Zoro, finger pistol. Ding! Zoro turned around and blocked with his sword. The 2 sides launched a fierce offensive and defensive battle, with sword energy and fist power flying everywhere. Bang! After another round, the 2 sides separated. Lucci took off his hat and threw it into the distance. Roranoa. Zoro, you are indeed strong, but you will eventually lose to me here. A person like you can't stop me. Zoro responded coldly. Really? Lucci sneered, his body instantly became stronger, yellow hair appeared on his body, and a tail grew out of his back. Devil. Fruit. Zoro frowned tightly. Lucci disappeared again, jumping around Zoro. It's much faster than before. Tempest kick. Lucci instantly appeared behind Zoro and launched an attack, but there was the sound of metal attacking. But Zoro's Haki is still too low level right now, and he couldn't completely prevent it, leaving a wound. Zoro used his backhand sword energy to force Lucci away. As this, Haki. The pirates who have learned Haki before arriving in the New World will never let you leave here. Lucci said coldly. Then, jumping up again, trying to interfere with Zoro. Zoro, however, seemed unusually calm. Calm down. Feel this guy's movements carefully with your sense of sight. Zoro slowly closed his eyes. It's here. Ghost slash. Zoro aimed at Lucci and slashed at him. Wow, Lucci got 2 sword marks on his chest. You can actually keep up with my speed. It really surprises me. Lucci sneered. He accelerated violently and punched Zoro. Zoro crossed his swords to block the attack. The two once again launched a fierce offensive and defensive battle. On the other side, Spandam, whose last trump card, Rob Lucci, had also been sent out, was anxiously waiting for the news. Sir, the pirates are still advancing and are about to attack. What? Where are the Marine Admirals? Aren't they the strongest in Marine? Why didn't they stop that group of pirates? And didn't I send CP9 to stop them? A bunch of trash, and that Rob Lucci, those who claim to be the strongest in CP9 in the past 800 years are all useless. Spandam cursed angrily. Ha ha ha, you are going to be doomed. I didn't expect Nicole and Robin's partner to be so strong. It's really super cool. Franky, who was tied up next to him, shouted loudly. A-hole, shut up. Justice will never lose. Come on, escort these 2 people to the gate of justice now. Stam ordered angrily. So Robin and Franky were escorted towards the gate of justice, and they tried their best to resist and delay. Nami, Chopper finally caught up with Robin. Quick, come on, stop these 2. Spandam ordered Marine in fear. Get out of my way. Nami shouted, put his right hand on the ground, and used his ultimate move, Erosion Reincarnation, to suck all the water out of all nearby buildings and Marines. Roar. Robin. Chopper roared angrily, and slapped the surrounding Marines away with a giant palm. Nami stopped entangled and turned directly into elements, bypassing all the Marines and arriving directly in front of Spandam. What do you want to do? Spandam looked at Nami in horror. Nami ignored him and kicked Spandam away. Robin, are you okay? Robin asked worriedly. I'm sorry everyone, it's me. Robin apologized with tears streaming down his face. Robin, if you have anything to do, let's talk about it back on the ship. That idiot captain is facing the Marine Admiral alone. We can't let him down. Nami said to Robin with a smile. Wow, you guys are so awesome, so touching. Franky was so moved that he burst into tears beside him. Nami took out the key he took from CP9 and unlocked Robin. Who are you? Nami asked speechlessly. My name is Franky. Franky introduced himself with a strange posture. You are the pervert that Mr. Bingshan asked you to save, right? Looking at this strange action, Nami said with a look of disgust. Yes, I am a pervert. Franky proudly admitted. Then Nami also helped Franky unlock the handcuffs, and everyone began to retreat. Hufufu. Zoro gasped with scars all over his body. You will never escape from Enies' lobby. Rob Lucci on the other side was also covered in sword wounds. Stop talking nonsense. If I can't defeat you, I can't continue sailing on this ocean. I will never lose. Then give it a try, the greatest secret of the Six Kings Spear. Rob Lucci roared, using his last strength. Zoro's body gradually became ghostly, and Shira's shadow appeared. Ashura Magic 9 flashes. The 2 of them shouted at each other with all their strength. Bang! After all, Rob Lucci was blown away. Zoro once again broke through his bottleneck. Chapter 40 Escape from Enies' lobby. Interesting for you. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 829. 207. 276. It seems that I have won. My partner has rescued Robin. Amber said to Qingzi on the side with a smile. You guys are so unexpected. I didn't expect that CP9 and tens of thousands of Enies' lobby Marines can't stop you. Qingzi said in a calm tone without any special reaction. I won't stop you for the rest. I will report to the superiors that you are strong enough to fight Admiral alone. After saying that, Qingzi stepped on Moonwalk and flew away into the distance. Amber looked at the direction Qingzi left, then transformed into lightning and teleported to Enies' lobby to pick up Nami and the others. Zoro, you are so messy. Every time you fight, you are injured. When Chopper retreated, he found Zoro lying on the ground covered with wounds, so he put Zoro on his shoulders. Thanks to you, Chopper. Zoro responded weakly. A-hole, even if you praise me, I won't be happy. Chopper in monster form was doing the same movements as in normal form. The scene was so eye-catching that it almost threw Zoro off his shoulder. Idiot, stop shaking. Sha Lan. Nami blew the Marine in front of him with a saloon roll, and then looked at the 2 guys behind him who were playing tricks, and became furious. What are you 2 doing there? Why don't you hurry up and catch up? Yes. 16 flowers bloom. The Marines next to Robin each had their necks broken by the hands growing out of their shoulders. Strong right hand. Franky punched Marine in front of him and knocked him away. But there are still more and more Marines coming up one after another. There are tens of thousands of Marines in Enies lobby, and their quality is not low. The human sea tactics can tire them to death. 30 million volts. Thunder Dragon. Suddenly a familiar voice came from the sky, and then a lightning bolt of several meters fell from the sky and cleared away the surrounding Marines. Amber, Nami and others shouted in surprise. Is everyone okay? We should go back. Seeing Amber's appearance, the Marines were very surprised. They saw Qingzi Admiral chasing him out with their own eyes. Now that he is the only one coming back, wouldn't Qingzi Admiral lose? Yes, Thunder Amber, how come he appears here? Is it Qingzi Admiral? Impossible. That represents Marine's strongest combat power. Even if it faces the 4 emperors alone, it will not lose to the monster. How could it be possible to lose? Amber doesn't care about this and keeps opening the way with large-scale damage moves. For Amber, the crowd tactics are really useless. Everyone finally ran out of Enies lobby, boarded the Thunder and left. Amber conveniently destroyed all the nearby warships to prevent Marine from catching up. Everyone, I'm sorry for causing trouble to everyone. It's all because of me that everyone is in such a dangerous situation. Robin apologized to everyone with a frustrated look. It's okay, just come back, Nami said to Robin gently. Robin, it's great to have you back, Chopper said happily, holding Robin's hand. Zoro snorted and accidentally pulled his injured arm, screaming in pain. Conis smiled slightly, expressing understanding. Amber walked up to Robin with a gloomy look. Under the nervous gazes of others, she put her hand on Robin's head and rubbed Robin's hair like a chicken coop. Idiot, don't be so stupid next time, Amber said with a smile. Yeah, Robin nodded sharply. Naval Headquarters, Marshal's office. Sengoku punched the table angrily. A Marine Admiral plus CP9 plus tens of thousands of Marines actually let the Sky Shadow Pirates escape. And destroyed most of the Enies lobby. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect this Thunder Boy's strength to improve so quickly. I suddenly want to meet him. Garp smiled carelessly on the side. Garp, Sengoku roared. According to Marine, who was at the base at the time, the roar echoed throughout Naval Headquarters. At this time Sengoku turned to Qingzi and said, Qingzi, tell me the process of your fight with him, I need all the details. Okay, when I first started fighting him, he was a Thunder Fruit user as shown in the data. He also had Armament Haki and Observation Haki. Conqueror's Haki was not sure yet. After I had a big fight with him, he gradually lost ground and used a new ability that was neither like his Fruit ability nor like Haki. New ability? Sengoku asked in surprise. Yes, at that time I used Freeze Moment to freeze his entire body, and then his eyes suddenly turned blood red, and then I summoned a skeleton giant with very powerful defense and attack power. The defense of that skeleton giant cannot be broken even if I use all my skills, and the attack power can easily break the ice wall I created, and the energy bombs it emits can cancel each other out with my ice ball. How is this possible? A person can only eat one devil fruit. This is an iron law that no one in the sea has ever been able to break. How could he use two completely different abilities? Marshal Sengoku said he could not accept it. Could it be a racial ability? It's the same as fish people can breathe underwater, and fur people can transform and discharge electricity. Qingzi expressed his guess. There is a possibility that although Thunder Amber looks like an ordinary human being, he might actually be an unknown race, then he would be even more valuable. Qingzi wanted to speak but stopped. Qingzi, do you have anything else to say? Marshal Sengoku asked strangely. Qingzi finally decided to report the truth truthfully. Thunder Amber also has a special ability that can pull people into a virtual space. In that space, he has the final say over gravity, air, and even time. He seems to be the secret of that space, Qingzi said with a frightened look on his face. He didn't realize how he was tricked at that time. If Thunder Amber wanted to kill him, it might be possible. What? The third ability? Marshal Sengoku was completely surprised. This Thunder Amber definitely hides a shocking secret. As long as we can know his secret, we may be able to complete the idea of improving Marine's combat effectiveness in a short period of time. Hey, Sengoku, that guy is a monster that can fight against Admiral now. How do you want to catch it? Garp next to him raised a question in a rare serious moment. Sigh. Sengoku was silent for a while and sighed. I have a hunch that this Thundering Amber will eventually grow to a level we can't even imagine. Chapter 41 The Aftermath of the War. In the capital of Seven Waters, Amber and others finally returned here after several hours of sailing. Look, it's the boss. They succeeded. Franky's boys shouted loudly. They, Iceberg Studio and other insiders have been waiting near the dock. Guys, I'm back. Franky responded loudly while standing on the bow of the boat, making quite pervert movements. After everyone exchanged pleasantries, they went back to recover from their injuries, especially Zoro, who had suffered multiple fatal injuries and was now wrapped like a mummy. While Amber and the others were relaxing, the world once again set off a huge storm because of what they did. A few days later, news with the title, Evil Pirates, and the latest bounty of the Sky Shadow Pirates flew to every known sea area in the world with the news bird. Look, everyone, our latest reward is out. Nami, Robin and Conis came back from shopping, holding a stack of reward tickets in their hands. Where it is. The one who expressed the most excitement was Chopper, who had always been worried about the 50 Bailey reward last time. Look, Captain, Marine changed your title and called you the evil pirate. Nami pointed at Amber's reward order and said to Amber. I saw Amber's reward order saying. Thor, Amber, a vicious pirate with a bounty of 800 million Baileys, no matter life or death. The mastermind of the Enies lobby incident, he led his pirate group to attack Enies lobby, causing great damage. P.S. It is said that, Thor. Amber already has the strength to fight Marine Admiral alone. Admiral of Headquarters Chingzi was stationed in Enies lobby at that time, and finally allowed all members of the Sky Shadow Pirates to escape. This information was provided by an unknown person, whether true or false, this newspaper is not responsible. Wow, Amber, you have become so powerful. The title of Thor is so cool. Chopper said admiringly. According to Marine's habits, how could they take the initiative to expose Amber's record against Marine Admiral alone? Doesn't this severely encourage the pirates' arrogance? Nami asked strangely. It's very simple. It's nothing more than praise. This news spreads. I have the strength to fight Admiral, like a rumor. People who see this news will be more suspicious. We will be in trouble in the future, and there will be countless reasons. People with prestige and bounties come to trouble us. On the other hand, he also named me a god. Those big pirates who have been famous for a long time will never tolerate a newcomer sitting on their head. The four emperors, Shichibukai, maybe they will all become our enemy. Sengoku is very good at killing people with a borrowed sword. Amber saw Sengoku's plan at a glance and said calmly. Reward orders for other members are as follows. Warcraft, Roronoa, Zoro, with a bounty of 120 million belly, life or death. Queen of the Desert, Nami, with a bounty of 100 million Baileys, regardless of life or death. Son of the Devil, Nicole Robin, with a bounty of 80 million Baileys, life or death. Angel, Conis, with a bounty of 15 million Baileys, life or death. Pet, Tony, Chopper, with a bounty of 100 Baileys, life or death. ... After an inexplicable silence. Ha 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 ha. Everyone laughed happily, except Chopper, who opened his mouth wide and looked stunned. Ha ha ha, Chopper, good job. Zoro laughed and patted Chopper's hat. Zoro, don't be like this. No matter what, Chopper's bounty has improved. It has doubled compared to last time, ha 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 ha. Nami first defended Chopper, and then couldn't help but laugh. After a moment of joy, Amber suddenly discovered that there was a reward notice at the bottom. Cyborg, Franky, with a bounty of 20 million Baileys, life or death. It seems that Franky has been regarded by Marine as a member of our Sky Shadow Pirates. Amber looked at the reward notice and thought about how to get Franky on board. On the other side of the Seven Waters City, Franky's house. Boss, something bad is going to happen. A young man hurriedly ran in with a reward notice. Huh, what happened? Franky asked doubtfully. Boss, you are wanted by Marine. Nani. New World Whitebeard territory, aboard the Moby DK. You actually gave this newcomer the title of Thor God. What is Marine thinking? Are you crazy? But if the rumor that it has the strength to fight the Marine Admiral alone is true, it is indeed worthy of the title of Thor God. What nonsense are you talking about? There are rumors on the news that I don't know where they came from. No matter how powerful the kid is, he has captain-level strength. The crew members of the Whitebeard Pirates had a heated discussion about today's news. Some believed that Amber was not worthy of the title of God, and some questioned Amber's combat power. It seems that 8 trigrams is one of human nature, regardless of in which world. Marco, what do you think? Whitebeard asked Marco next to him with interest. I think that even if this newcomer does not have the strength to fight against Admiral, he must have the strength to delay Admiral in a short period of time. Otherwise, with Admiral sitting in the Enies lobby, I can't imagine how they could all escape. Marco analyzed rationally. However, newcomers like this are easily fooled by reputation. After arriving in the new world, they may come to challenge our pirate group and want to defeat Dad to gain greater reputation, just like Crocodile. La. If he is not afraid of death, come on. Lousy will take it as many times as he wants. Lousy is Whitebeard. Whitebeard waved his hand boldly and said indifferently. New world, red, ha ha ha, eagle eye, after all your hard work, let's have a party. Shanks took a bottle of wine, took a sip, and then said drunkenly to a man with eyes like an eagle eye. This man is the world's greatest swordsman, Mahawk, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Hawkeye slapped Shanks' arm on his shoulders in disgust, then took out a reward warrant and threw it to Shanks. This newcomer is quite interesting. He has only been out at sea for a few months, and he has already turned the sea upside down. Eagle Eye said expressionlessly. Thor God. What a title for Haki. Marine actually gave him the title of God. It seems that the meaning of praise is self-evident. Shanks took a sip of wine. Why, are you interested in this new guy? You want to play against him? Hawkeye shook his head. This guy is not a swordsman. I am not very interested in fighting him. What I am interested in is his crew member Roronoa. Zoro. His eyes are very determined and he is a very pure swordsman. Oh, to be praised by you, the world's greatest swordsman, it seems that this, Thunder God, Amber's partner is not a small person. The two exchanged a few words, and then Hawkeye took his coffin-like boat out to sea, aiming for the first half of the Grand Line. Chapter 42 New Crew and Dream Ship. New World Big MOM Pirates Territory, Cake Island. One of the 4 emperors, the leader of the BOG MOM Pirates, Charlotte. Lin is laughing, and the strange laughter fills the whole space. Charlotte Linlin sits on the throne with a huge and fat body like a giant, with a majestic aura. This is a daunting monster, 8 meters tall, and even close to the size of a giant. She looks ferocious, but she is wearing a pink off-shoulder dress. Bigmom is a very powerful monster. At the age of 8, he destroyed the giant's hometown Elbath, and has a powerful body known as the Steel Balloon. Charlotte Linlin has dozens of men in her life and gave birth to more than 80 children. She is a real hero mother. It is precisely by relying on strength and blood connection that she created the terrifying force of Wan Guo. She has 3 powerful desert generals under her command to help guard Wan Guo. A mere kid can be called a god. Marines are getting worse and worse, Charlotte Linlin said disdainfully while looking at Amber's bounty order. I hope you can come to New World soon. I will let you understand the real cruel world of pirates. New World, Wanokuni. A tall and burly man with black hair and long horns on his head was sitting on the deck, holding a gourd high and pouring wine into his mouth. This man was the governor of Beast's Pirates, one of the 4 emperors, Kaido. 20 years ago, he colluded with Kurozumi Orochi, defeated Kazuki Oden, and actually controlled Wanokuni. Thor. He sounds very strong. I wonder if he can kill me. New World, Dressrosa. The famous newspaper reading king in later generations, Doflamingo, started his favorite thing every day, reading newspapers. Foo 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 foo. Amidst the laughter, Doflamingo's smile grew bigger and bigger, and he seemed to be laughing happily, but veins popped out on his forehead. A mere pirate is worthy of the title of God. Marine is really a bunch of trash. The real God is not what you mortals can imagine. Wait, I will let you see the power of the real God. Devil's Triangle C, Thriller Bark. Strength to fight against Marine Admiral. I must get his shadow. Kaido. Moonlight Moria screamed heartbreakingly. 7 Water City. Since the Enies lobby incident, Amber and her group stayed in the 7 Water City for more than a week. During this period, Franky led the Franky family to the iceberg studio to help build the ship in order to repay Amber and others for saving his life. As the saying goes, there is strength in numbers. Each person worked on a part, and the steel warship that originally took more than 2 months to build in the mouth of the iceberg was almost completed. When Franky saw the design drawings of the steel warship for the first time, he was amazed and said that he had never seen such a bold and imaginative design. Finally, the ship was built. Franky took Amber to visit the ship. Amber looked at the silver steel warship and felt very satisfied. This ship was built by the 2 brothers, Iceberg and Franky, who almost brought their skills to the ultimate. The keel of this ship is made of the trunks of the atom trees bought by Iceberg. Ordinary warships can only be left behind by you. The outer hull is made of the latest synthetic materials, and ordinary shells cannot leave marks on it. The cabins are decorated according to the highest standards, and the restaurant has all kinds of equipment. Thanks to Mr. Amber for leaving enough funds, we can give full play to our imagination. Franky introduced it incessantly beside him, excited and proud. Very good. This ship is so perfect, just like the ship of my dreams. After visiting, Amber expressed her satisfaction. Franky was very happy. As a shipbuilder, the greatest honor is to have his work praised by customers. Franky, do you want to join our pirate group to sail together? Amber looked at Franky, who was extremely excited when talking about going to sea, and invited him. Franky was stunned at first, then shook his head. Mr. Amber, thank you very much for your invitation, but I have a reason why I can't leave this city. Oh, really? Amber did not force it. On that day, Mr. Iceberg suddenly visited and asked Amber and others to take Franky to sail together. Franky's younger brothers also visited one by one, saying that their boss's dream is to build a dream ship and sail to the end of the sea. Amber also agreed. After all, this ship is now a steel ship, not the original wooden ship. If there is a problem, it is very difficult to repair it without a good shipbuilder. Is there anyone who knows this ship better than Franky? With the help of Franky's younger brother, some despicable means were used. Referring to the stealing of Franky's pants and Robin's magic operation, and Franky shouted, Boss Amber, I'm the shipwright on your ship. It was a complete success. Amber and others finally prepared everything, stepped onto the brand new steel battleship, left the original wooden boat at Mr. Iceberg, and set sail again. At this time, Amber suddenly said, by the way, Franky, does this ship have a name? Not yet, although this ship was built by me and Iceberg, I still want its real owner to name it. Franky shook his head. Amber looked at the others. Nami and others had no idea. Finally, Zoro couldn't stand it anymore. He complained, what a trouble. Since the last ship was named after you, the captain, then this one should be named like this. In the end, the ship was named Thor, which is not a random name, right? After all, the ship itself uses lightning as its energy source. Of course, after Franky joined the construction, coke also became one of the power sources. After Amber replenished the energy of the Thor, the Sky Shadow Pirates set out again. Chapter 43 Brook. Unveiling Tim Walls. The inspiring story of his family. More. 382. 96. 127. The Thor is indeed modeled after a modern steel ship. It uses the rotation of a turbine as the driving force to move forward, instead of relying on the wind to blow the sails. It only took less than a day to reach the Devil's Triangle. This strange ocean is always filled with fog, and visibility will never exceed 50 meters at any time. Occasionally, the wind blows, carrying a low hum, as if it is the whisper of the dead. Seeing the timid Nami and Chopper hugging each other and shivering in fear, Amber helplessly shook her head. Nami, a little girl, is still like this even if she becomes a Logia user. The deeper you drive into the ocean, the more oppressive the surrounding environment becomes. The dark blue water is as quiet as the surface of the lake, but there are dangers underneath. At this time, strange singing sounds suddenly came from the sea. Is there no ghost? Nami asked tremblingly. It's so scary. Nami's words made Chopper even more scared. Ghosts. I wonder if they are strong. Zoro smiled disdainfully. Don't worry. Even if there are ghosts, I will protect everyone with my superpowers. Franky showed off his biceps. Conis and Robin were smiling on the side. Don't think blindly. There is no ghost. It must be man-made. Even if there is one, it is just some kind of devil fruit's ability. Amber said with a smile. At this moment, a huge ship slowly appeared in the thick fog ahead. It was very shabby in appearance. It passed by the Thor and was a little larger than the Thor. The singing came from above. Do you want to go up and take a look? Amber suggested. No way, Amber, it's just an old ship. What's so good about it? Let's leave quickly. Nami's eyes were full of tears and she felt like she was about to cry. I'm interested in going up there to see if there are any so-called ghosts. I haven't chopped down a ghost yet. Zoro raised the knife on his waist and sneered. I also want to know about the legendary ghost. Robin also said. Finally, Amber, Zoro and Robin boarded the ghost ship. Amber sensed it with her sense of sight. There were no real living creatures on the whole ship, but there was some strange aura in one place. It must be Brook. Soon Amber arrived at the location with Zoro and Robin, and sure enough, she saw a figure sitting next to the piano playing music. Upon closer inspection, the figure turned out to be a skeleton. There really is a ghost. Zoro had already pulled out his knife uncomfortably. Wait a minute, Zoro, that's not a ghost, it should be some kind of devil fruit ability. Amber quickly stopped Zoro. The skeleton also heard the sound and raised its head. Hey, how are you guys? Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Amber responded with a smile. The skeleton came over, then bowed gentlemanly. My name is Brook, then turned his head to Robin. Beautiful lady, can you show me your underwear? ... There was sudden silence. Zoro looked shocked. Robin's face turned red with embarrassment. Even in Robin's many years of escape experience, he had never seen a pervert request. Amber simply punched Brook on the head with her armor and shouted angrily, "A-hole, don't make fun of me, Robin is mine." Amber. You. Robin blushed even more when he heard Amber's words and stared at Amber closely. The captain finally exposed his ambition. Zoro complained. Ahem. Brook, this name looks so familiar. Amber pretended to cough twice and quickly changed the subject to fool her. After Amber and others got to know Brook, they also learned about Brook's story. Brook turned out to be a crew member of the West Blue Lombard pirates decades ago. After arriving on the Great Line, he encountered powerful enemies and eventually the entire army was destroyed. Only Brook, who ate the underworld fruit, was resurrected. However, due to his death the soul wandered for a year before finding its body, so the body became a skeleton. Brook, would you like to come and visit my boat? Amber extended the invitation. But, is it okay? Brook looked surprised. He had never encountered a living person in the decades he had been wandering on the sea, but in the end he was scared away. Of course, Amber said with a smile. Afterwards, Amber and others took Brook back to the Thor. It's a moving skeleton. Amber, please help. Nami was frightened by the moving skeleton, crying and hiding in Amber's arms. Chopper was even more funny. He pulled down his hat to cover his eyes and muttered, "You can't see me, you can't see me," which was a cover-up. Amber could only hold Nami helplessly and comfort her. Nami, he is a living person, but he just ate devil fruit. Devil fruit? Nami wondered. After some further explanations, everyone finally understood what happened to Brook. At this time, everyone was no longer afraid, but instead sympathized with Brook for drifting alone on the sea for decades. You must have been lonely all these years by yourself. I've gotten used to it over the years, but I'm very happy to meet you. Brook is very optimistic. Brook, do you know a whale named Laboon? Nami suddenly remembered that she had heard Brook's name from Master Crocus and asked uncertainly. Have you seen Laboon? Brook stood up and asked excitedly. At that time, we passed by Twin Points. Crocus said that Laboon had been waiting there for nearly 50 years. Amber spoke up. Could it be that you are the ones Laboon is waiting for? Zoro also said in surprise. Laboon, have you been waiting for 50 years? I'm sorry, Laboon, we failed to keep our promise. Brook's hands trembled. Others who didn't know the inside story were confused and didn't know what they were talking about. Amber slowly told them the story of Laboon and Brook, and everyone was moved to tears. We promise Laboon will take you back in 2 years, so Brook, do you want to go sailing with us? Amber extended the invitation. Can I? Brook asked excitedly. He had been alone for so many years, and he couldn't imagine that one day, someone would invite him to go sailing with him. Everyone looked at each other and smiled. Welcome. Chapter 44 Thriller Bark. To be honest, thank you very much for your invitation, but I may not be able to sail with you. My shadow was taken away by a man named Gecko Moria a few years ago. Without a shadow, I cannot live under the sun. If I am exposed to the sun, I will disappear directly. Brook said his difficulties at this time. It is Gecko Moria, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Robin, who is in charge of the intelligence department of Baroque Works, naturally knows the news of other Shichibukai. What is Shichibukai? Brook has been wandering alone for too long, so he naturally doesn't know the current pirate situation. Let's talk about these things slowly after this matter is resolved. Amber interrupted. Gecko Moria, the user of the Shadow Fruit, has the power to control shadows. Not only can he control his own shadow to fight, but he can also cut off other people's shadows and stuff them into dead bodies to turn the bodies into zombies. These zombies are directly controlled by Gecko Moria and become his power. Robin continued to tell the information he knew. Hearing about Shichibukai, everyone was a little solemn. Don't worry, no matter how strong you are, you can't be Amber's opponent. It's not like Shichibukai haven't been defeated before, even Marine Admiral Amber can be stopped. Nami looked at everyone and comforted them. Everyone couldn't help laughing when they heard this. At this moment, the ship shook, and everyone hurried out to check. A huge ship, or island, appeared in front of everyone. This is Gecko Moria's territory. Last time I mistakenly entered here and Gecko Moria took away my shadow. Brook's face was solemn. Let's go and take Brook's shadow back, Amber said to everyone with a smile. Yes, Captain, everyone. Suddenly, Amber's observation Haki sensed that a life form was approaching the ship. This was probably the transparent man Absalom who ate the transparent fruit and ruined Sanji's lifelong dream. Kill you. Amber's eyes flashed with murderous intent. This guy and Momonosuke were the 2 people he must kill. Absalom was very confident in his ability. He walked over openly and slowly approached Nami. Amber suddenly disappeared and appeared in front of Absalom. What? You, how did you? Ah. Before Absalom finished speaking, Amber grabbed his throat and lifted him up. Everyone was very confused when they saw Amber's actions, and then they saw Amber raised her hand, and then a person appeared out of thin air and was pinched by Amber. When did this person appear? The others said in shock. Your observation Haki is too bad, you need to practice well. Amber said with a smile. The conditions for practicing observation Haki are not as harsh as those for armament Haki. Armament Haki must reach a certain level of physical fitness, 3 stars, to practice, while observation Haki can be practiced as long as there is a practice method. In the original work, even Usopp, a shooter with poor physical skills, can practice observation Haki. Ahem. Please, don't kill me. Absalom begged for mercy with difficulty. Amber put him on the ground, but her hand was still pinching his neck. Tell me all the information about Gecko Moria on the island. Amber said coldly. Yes, Gecko Moria is on the island. Absalom looked at the hand on his neck ready to kill him at any time, and did not dare to refuse, so he told him all the information about Gecko Moria. I have told you everything I know, please let me go. Absalom begged for mercy. Amber remembered that this guy had taken advantage of my lovely Nami and Robin in the original novel, and the killing intent in her heart was out of control. You'd better die. 50 million volts. Discharge. Absalom said. I will die with 100,000 volts. How can I be worthy of 50 million volts? No. Absalom didn't last a second before turning into charcoal. If there were not 3 other girls on board, Nami, Robin, and Conis, Amber would not have let him die so happily and would have tortured him to death. Haha, it seems that the way this guy looked at us just now made our captain jealous. He is such a domineering captain. Robin said with a sinister tone on one side, probably thinking of Amber's words on the ghost ship just now. Robin. Mine. This guy is obviously with Nami, and he still says this to others, what a troublesome guy. Ahem. Now that we know the complete information about Gecko Moria, it's time to go ashore to deal with him. Amber quickly changed the subject. The other side. It's not good. Master Gecko Moria is not good. A little bat flew into Gecko Moria's room and reported. What's the noise? What's wrong? A huge and bloated body was lying on the bed, like a fat man who hadn't been out for many years. Lord Absalom is dead. Who did this? Gecko Moria sat up and yelled angrily. It's the Thor, Amber and his crew who have been causing a lot of trouble recently and are rumored to be tied with Marine Admiral. Thor. Amber. You are finally here. Ha 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 ha. Gecko Moria was stunned for a moment, and then laughed crazily. He had taken a liking to Thor. Amber when he killed Crocodile. Until rumors spread that Thor, Amber and Admiral were tied, it is even more certain that Thunder God. Amber's shadow is his most important piece in defeating Kaido and becoming the Pirate King. But, Lord Gecko Moria, that person's strength. Little Bat didn't dare to say it directly. Lord Gecko Moria, you can't beat others at all. HMPH. I have this idea. There is naturally a way to capture his shadow. Call Perona over and let's meet this god of thunder together. No matter how powerful a strong man is, as long as he is hit by Perona's moves, his shadow will only be you can be at my mercy, hey. Gecko Moria snorted, and then told the little bat to greet Perona. That's it. Lord Moria is really smart. I'll go now. Have you heard? Absalom has been killed. It is said that he is the thunder god who is making trouble now. Perona's spirit body said to Hogbark. Thor god. No wonder. Even if I gave Absalom a physical enhancement surgery, he is still far different from the real strong man in this sea. At this time, the little bat flew over. Perona, Moria invites you to come over and greet the Lord Thunder God together. What? Why is it me? I don't want to die. Perona looked horrified. What? You don't listen to Lord Moria's orders either. I'll just go. After all, Perona didn't dare to disobey Moria's order and flew over obediently. Chapter 45 Thriller Bark 2. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 866. 217. 289. After Amber and others arrived on the island, they encountered a three-headed hell dog that stood in front of everyone in a menacing manner. What an interesting dog. It actually has 3 heads. Can their 3 heads fight? Chopper looked at the three-headed hell dog excitedly and asked strangely. It's so cute. Robin said looking at the three-headed hell dog in front of him that looked uncute. Does he want to fight? Zoro put a hand on Wado Yamanji, eager to give it a try. Amber stepped forward and gave the three-headed hell dog an uppercut, knocking it away and falling to the ground and fainting. Everyone continued to move forward, and suddenly there was a huge movement in front of them. A large group of zombies were approaching. There were thousands of zombies in various shapes, and they came out of the fog one after another. Everyone became nervous when they saw the zombies and prepared for battle. Hey, hee. A strange sound came over, and then a man who was nearly 7 meters tall and looked like a demon came out with a strange smile. Isn't this Lord Amber, the Thor god, who has a bounty of 800 million belly? Why do you have time to visit this barren place like mine? You are so welcome. Gecko Moria looks harmless to humans and animals. Everyone was confused when they saw Moria. When did the captain's reputation become so great that a Shichibukai was so scared that he dared not take action? Amber did not relax, because after reading the original work, he knew how insidious Gecko Moria was. I didn't want to come at first, but you seem to have taken away my partner's shadow, so I came here. Amber pointed at Brook next to her and said calmly. This is all a misunderstanding. I will immediately ask someone to bring this gentleman's shadow over. In addition, I don't know if Mr. Thor has time. Please come to my castle so that I can prepare a dinner for you. Please apologize. Gecko Moria looked sincere. I don't think it's necessary. We have other things to do. Please return my partner's shadow quickly. We will leave immediately and won't disturb you anymore. Are you not giving me face? Gecko Moria suddenly changed his face. You didn't eat the fruit of face, so why should I give you face? Amber said speechlessly. Then don't blame me. Gecko Moria shouted loudly. At this moment, behind Amber and others, several transparent ghosts flew towards Amber and others. Already known, Amber sneered inwardly. There's an attack coming from behind, everyone get out of the way. Zoro, Nami, and others who had some good knowledge and skills, ducked away before Amber warned them. Nami also took Conis, who had no fighting power, in his arms and took them away together. Others also heard Amber's warning. Dodged. Amber was arguing with Moria just now in order to use the hard net to sense the position of Perona's body, because he knew that Perona's spirit body could not leave the body too far. Where is it? Found it. Here. Amber released the smallest trace of thunder and lightning at Perona's body. Perona's ability was too buggy, and Amber started to love talents again. It's definitely not about being interested in Perona, it's about cherishing talent. Cherishing talent. Cherishing talent. Perona was attacked and fainted without any surprise. How? Possible, how did you find out? Gecko Moria looked shocked. This is your trump card. Now that your trump card is gone, what should you do next? Amber crossed her arms and looked at Gecko Moria with contempt. Thor, Amber, how dare you look down on me, do you think you can defeat me? Lousy as a Shichibukai. Seeing Amber's contemptuous eyes, Gecko Moria was furious. Shichibukai, he's just a lackey of the world government. It's not like he hasn't been killed before. Hawkeye, who do you think is a lackey? Do you want to touch it? A-hole, B****************, D, how dare you look down on Lousy, Kaido is like this, you are like this, I'm going to kill you all, kill you. Gecko Moria shouted angrily. Just you. The homeless dog whose back was broken by Kaido in the New World also wants to take revenge on Kaido. Amber continued to use the tried and tested taunting tactics. After being defeated by Kaido, you have lost your heart to be strong. You have been hiding in this thriller bark for 20 years. You don't practice to make yourself stronger. Instead, you collect shadows to make zombies. You actually want to defeat Kaido with this garbage. Are you smart? A-hole, come on, kill him. Gecko Moria finally couldn't help but taunted and ordered the zombie army to attack. Everyone go practice your skills. I'm here to watch over Gecko Moria to prevent him from taking away everyone's shadow. Understood, Captain. Everyone looked excited. Ryoma, let me kill them. Moria sent out the strongest ace in his hand. Ryoma, the samurai of Wano-kuni, is rumored to be the strongest samurai who has ever slain a dragon. He is regarded as the sword god of Wano-kuni. Therefore, Gecko Moria has high hopes for Ryoma's corpse as the hope of defeating Kaido. It's the trophy Gecko Moria got in the battle with Kaido 20 years ago. Seeing the strong sword intent on Ryoma and the black sword Chushui in Ryoma's hand, Zoro stepped forward without hesitation and faced Ryoma. Ryoma slowly drew out the black knife Chushui. This knife is very strong. I will take it away. Zoro tied the bandana on his arm to his head and pulled out the knife. You want to take away this black knife Chushui in my hand? Ryoma asked calmly. To be precise, take away the knife that fell next to your body. Haha, I see, you are very brave. Then come on. Ryoma chuckled lightly, and then slashed hard. Zoro also slashed the knife pair over. The two sides' knife pairs touched together and then separated. A strong airflow erupted around them, and the ground was shattered by the airflow. Ryoma held the sword behind his back and slashed upwards. Zoro ducked sideways and slashed with his backhand. In this way, the two sides launched a fierce offensive and defensive battle. The sword energy flew everywhere, and the surrounding zombies were shattered by the sword energy. One sword style. Flying dragon. Zoro slashed out a dragon-shaped sword energy. Brother Biddingson. Ryoma also responded with a slash. The sword energy collided and melted into each other, and then the two figures passed each other. Zoro fell to the ground first, gasping for air. Did Zoro lose? When the friends saw this, they became worried for Zoro. Ha ha ha, Ryoma is indeed the strongest swordsman. Moria shouted excitedly over there. Pata. Ryoma standing on the other side suddenly half knelt on the ground. Did you lose? Ryoma muttered, covering his wound, and then handed the knife in Zoro's direction. Chu Shui, the famous sword once worn by legendary warriors, must be your long-cherished wish to be its master. Then he put Chu Shui back into the scabbard and threw it to Zoro, who caught it with one hand. It's so sad to let my warrior body taste failure. It's enough to feel shame. A swordsman is a swordsman who has both body and mind. I really want to meet you when you are alive. Chapter 46 Thriller Bark 3. Unveiling Tim Walls. The inspiring story of his family. More. 153. 38. 51. How is it possible? Ryoma actually lost. My strongest trump card didn't even face Thunder God, Amber, but just one of his crew members lost. Gecko Moria muttered to himself with a look of despair. What's wrong? You're giving up now. Amber said with a faint smile. How is it possible? Come on, everyone, kill them. Gecko Moria immediately issued an order to the remaining zombie army. Hundreds of zombies attacked Amber and others. Nami, Franky, Chopper and other combatants immediately came forward to greet him. Desert Sword. Nami waved several sand blades, and the sharp sand blades separated the heads of the zombies on the road one by one. Wind Cannon. Franky raised his right hand and fired a huge wind cannon, blowing away the zombies one by one. Chopper turned into a human form. With his flexibility, he kept dodging among the zombies and hitting the joints of the zombies. The hit zombies could no longer stand up. Shadow Mage. Gecko Moria saw that everyone in the Sky Shadow Pirates was busy fighting, and wanted to take the opportunity to cut off their shadows and secretly send out his own shadow, but he didn't know that Amber had been guarding him. 30 million volts. God's sanction. A thunderbolt struck Gecko Moria from the sky. B*************** D. Gecko Moria quickly swapped the shadow with his own position and avoided the lightning strike. Thor Amber. UB********** D. Gecko Moria cursed angrily when he saw that he almost succeeded, but was actually destroyed. You can only do some small tricks. No wonder you are the weakest among the Shichibukai. A-hole. Go to hell. Shadowhorn Spear. Gecko Moria launched an angry attack, and the shadow turned into an extremely sharp spear and attacked Amber. Amber just tilted her head to avoid Gecko Moria's attack, then teleported in front of Gecko Moria and punched his huge stomach. Boom. Gecko Moria was knocked away with one punch. Gecko Moria is indeed a person who has fought against Kaido of the Beasts. His physical skills are much better than Crocodile. He was hit by one punch and got up within 2 blows. Just when Amber thought Gecko Moria would continue to fight forcefully, Gecko Moria turned around and ran away. Amber was stunned for a moment by this operation, but she quickly thought that Gecko Moria was going back to find his strongest ace, Magic Oz. Originally, Gecko Moria's purpose was to use Perona's ability to sneak attack Amber, snatch Amber's shadow and stuff it into the body of Demon Oz. The body of a strong man must be matched with the shadow of a strong man to exert the best combat power, but now that we can't get Amber's shadow, we can only do the next best thing and use the shadow of an ordinary person to awaken the Devil Oz. Amber didn't chase him and let him leave, otherwise this instance would be too unchallenging. Soon, everyone in the Sky Shadow Pirates defeated all the zombies brought by Gecko Moria. Amber, do we need to chase now? Nami asked. Yeah, let's go. Amber was not in a hurry and walked over with everyone at a walking pace. They stopped and walked along the way, treating this place as an amusement park. Amber also asked Nami to take away Perona who fainted not far away. He was despised by everyone again as if they were looking at scum. Gecko Moria, I've given you a break, don't let me down too much. Castle of Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria rushed into Hogubek's laboratory. Hogubark. It's time to wake up. SZ900. Hogback looked shocked when he saw Gecko Moria, who was touching his belly and looking extremely embarrassed. Master Moria, what's wrong with you? Is that God of Thunder, Amber so powerful? Even Master Moria, you are no match. The situation exceeded my expectations. That Thunder God, Amber seems to have known about Perona's ability for a long time and has been on guard. Hurry up and bring Oz back to life. But there is no suitable shadow to resurrect Oz. Hogback replied. Gecko Moria had a gloomy look on his face. Just use the shadow of an ordinary person, and you don't have to worry about the rest. Yes, my master. After some operations in Hogubek. Roar. The special zombie numbered 900 Oz the demon is resurrected. A huge body about 120 meters tall came to this world through 500 years of time. Ha ha ha. Gecko Moria looked at this huge body and laughed crazily. This is the demon Oz with the name of the thief. The demon Oz 500 years ago often moved the entire island he liked and brought it to the sea area where he lived, so he left it with the name of the Pirate Country. You can imagine how powerful this monster is. With Oz, Thor, Kaido, One Piece belongs to Lousy. Originally, the newly resurrected zombies had a period of loss of control, but Gecko Moria used his own abilities to eradicate them. Gecko Moria entered the control room of Majin Oz and controlled Majin Oz to destroy everything around him crazily. The power of Majin fascinated him. Hey, Moria, how's the adjustment going? How long do you have to wait for me? Gecko Moria suddenly heard the annoying voice. He looked around and finally found the person who dared to insult him repeatedly. On the roof of a house thousands of meters away, everyone from the Sky Shadow Pirates was on top. Amber watched Gecko Moria venting there for a long time, couldn't help but ask out of boredom. Some of the others were reading books and some were playing cards. They had obviously been waiting for a long time. Thor. Amber. Gecko Moria roared angrily. Amber, do you need help? Nami asked while playing cards. No, I can do it by myself this time. You guys were all warmed up just now. Amber smiled, then teleported to the top floor of the room in front of Oz. Gecko Moria, I give you so much time, don't let me down. Gecko Moria couldn't bear it anymore and controlled Oz with a fist the size of a house and smashed it down. Strength doesn't mean the bigger you are, the stronger you are. The amber weapon color covers his right hand, which is covered with thunder and lightning. He closes his fist and gathers power to punch out the fist of Majin Oz. Bang! The two fists connected and a huge explosion was made. The sound waves blew away all obstacles within 100 meters. Demon Oz could not hold on for more than 2 seconds before he flew backwards and flew 1,000 meters away. Happy, Amber shouted, and sure enough, the wait was not in vain. Gecko Moria in the distance controlled Oz to stand up, his face full of disbelief. You monster. Come again. Amber turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed towards the devil Oz. Before Gecko Moria could react, Oz was punched in the face again and flew out again, breaking several teeth. Amber was unyielding, and before Demon Oz had even landed, she teleported over again and kicked Demon Oz back. In this way, he treated the devil Oz like a giant punching bag and beat him up. What kind of monster is our captain? Zoro couldn't help complaining. The others also nodded in agreement. Chapter 47 Thriller Bark 4. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 333. 83. 111. He beat Ozzy like a punching bag for more than 2 minutes, and then Amber kicked him away. Thor Amber, you be asterisk 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 D. Gecko Moria shouted through gritted teeth. Enough fun, let me end you now. Amber slowly stretched out her arms to the sky, and then fired a bolt of lightning. The originally motionless sky suddenly started to roll with thunder. Follow the thunder and turn it into ashes. 200 million volts. Kirin. As Amber's words fell, the sky seemed to split open, and a giant blue beast stuck its head out from inside, looking at Demon Oz as if it were an ant, and then its entire body appeared, heading in the direction of Demon Oz. Pounced down. Rumble. Rumble. Single quote. There was a huge explosion, and a 1,000-meter radius was covered by thunder and lightning, becoming a sea of thunder and lightning. The explosion lasted for several seconds before stopping, and the surrounding area was filled with smoke and dust. A gust of wind blew by, and everyone saw that the figure of the Demon Oz had disappeared. Only a large crater of 100 meters was left at the scene, but the traces of destruction spread for thousands of meters. Perona, who had already woken up, couldn't help but shed a cold sweat when she saw this terrifying power. Is this why he is called the Thor God? With this kind of power, can Lord Moria survive? No one present thought that Gecko Moria could survive such terrifying power. At this time, Amber looked in a certain direction and said, even this can't kill you. In terms of your ability to save life, you can be said to be the #1 Shichibukai. Everyone looked in that direction and saw Gecko Moria, who was covered in scars and bleeding from his head. He was looking at Amber with a fierce look on his face. At the moment when Keelin attacked, he felt a sense of danger. He immediately exchanged places with the shadow he sent far away to save his life and escaped. However, he was still too close and was affected. I am not the weakest Shichibukai, I am the strongest, and I will let you all know that I am the strongest. Shadow Assembly Area. As his voice came out, a shadow popped out of all the zombies on the Thriller Bark, including those that the Sky Shadow Pirates had just defeated. As the zombie bodies fell to the ground, the shadows gathered towards Gecko Moria. Shadow gathering is Gecko Moria's strongest move. The shadow cut out from the shadow fruit can have the same strength as the original owner. Hundreds of shadows are the power of hundreds of people. In the original book, Luffy was stuffed with 100 shadows to transform into Nightmare Luffy, and easily beat the Devil Oz. Gecko Moria was even able to fight Kaido with this move back then. In the original work, Gecko Moria, who absorbed 1,000 shadows, almost sank the entire Thriller Bark with one blow. If Luffy hadn't had a rubber-like physique and was particularly durable, he might have lost. 10, 50, 100, 1,000. As Gecko Moria continued to fuse shadows, his size also continued to increase, and finally became larger than Majin Oz. Amber didn't interrupt in the middle. Only by defeating Gecko Moria in his strongest state could this dungeon trip be complete. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, I am the strongest now, Thunder God. Amber, you regret not interrupting me just now. The current Gecko Moria is not as useless as it was 2 years ago. Although it is very reluctant, it can still hold up 1,000 shadows. Unlike 2 years later, the shadows cannot be controlled and let them fly out of their bodies. Go to hell. Gecko Moria clenched his huge fist and smashed down on Amber. Amber didn't dare to push too hard this time. His pure power was only a little stronger than the demon Oz, but it was still far behind Moria, who could sink an island with one punch at this time, so he teleported away immediately. Bang! A huge fist hit the thriller bark, breaking the entire three-masted bark in half, and the entire three-masted bark shook violently. So powerful. Is this Shichibukai's true strength? Can Amber win? The friends couldn't help but worry about Amber. Don't worry, he is our captain. We just need to trust him, Zoro said with a calm smile while sitting on the ground. Thor, Amber, aren't you amazing? What are you hiding from? Tell me, who is the strongest now? Gecko Moria laughed crazily. It's just relying on other people's strength, not your own. What are you proud of? Amber smiled disdainfully. Then he shouted, 200 million volts. Thunder God. Amber's hair stood up and her whole body was filled with thunder and lightning, like the legendary world-destroying Thor. Come on. Frontal. Gecko Moria. Amber shouted towards Moria. Looking for death? Then I'll grant it to you. Gecko Moria waved his huge fist and hit him again. Amber gathered a large amount of thunder and lightning on her right hand, forming a thunder and lightning fist more than 10 meters long, and shouted, Thunder God Fist of Destruction. Boom. Click. Click. The fists of the two sides clashed together, making a loud noise, and then the two sides were stagnant. Black thunder and lightning burst out all around. Centered on their fists, obstacles within a kilometer range were crushed. The dark clouds above were blown away, revealing the long-lost sunshine. In the end, Amber was slightly better and overpowered Gecko Moria. Moria suddenly fell onto the ruins of her castle. Now that you have lost to me head-on, what else do you want to say? A-hole, I'm the strongest. Moria struggled to stand up. The huge body leads to a lack of strength in the lower body. In the final analysis, you are just a bigger target now. Amber commented while aiming at Gecko Moria's stomach and punching him. Moria finally couldn't bear it anymore, and black shadows continued to flow out of her mouth. You simply can't control this power that doesn't belong to you. Shut up. Flying bat. Gecko Moria endured the severe pain and attacked again, and the shadow turned into a bat to attack Amber. You brats like you have never experienced the cruel new world, so what qualifications do you have to judge me? Those who stand out will only be wiped out. Amber swatted all the shadow bats away like flies. Sooner or later, we will go to the new world. Those legendary pirates, even the 4 emperors Kaido, will all be defeated by us one day. People like you will never have the courage to stand up after falling once, and do not have the blood to strive upward. Just like corpses waiting to rot in the grave, even if it is not me, sooner or later I will be defeated by other new pirates. Your role is just a stepping stone. Quote. Get down. Amber's last punch hit Gecko Moria hard. Gecko Moria could no longer hold on and released the hand that had been covering her mouth. All the shadows ran out in an instant and flew towards the sky returns to its master. Gecko Moria rolled his eyes and fell to the ground, looked at Amber, and uttered the last words. Go to New World and experience the real nightmare. Chapter 48 After the War. Our shadows are back. Gecko Moria was defeated. Gecko Moria has finally been defeated. People around the world who had their shadows taken away by Gecko Moria cheered. Their shadows were back, and they finally no longer had to hide from the sun and could live like normal people. ... Devil's Triangle, Thriller Bark. Because Amber and Moria's blow to each other blew away the dark clouds in the sky, this land that never saw the sun all year round was finally bathed in sunshine again. Moria's castle had been reduced to ruins in the previous battle, and Hogbark, who stayed inside, naturally died in the aftermath of the battle. Moria rolled her eyes and lay on the ruins. Amber looked at Perona on the roof and saw her spirit flying down at a very fast speed and flying to Gecko Moria. Lord Moria. Perona, I didn't expect that you were the only one who survived in the end. Gecko Moria said weakly. I'm going to die too. The injuries are too serious and I can't hold on any longer. Thor, Amber, can I ask you something? Gecko Moria asked Amber while holding back the pain. Say it. Amber nodded. Can you please stop killing Perona? Her abilities are very useful. Let her follow you. She might be of great use in the future. I didn't want to kill her in the first place, otherwise I wouldn't have just stunned her when we were on the shore. As that's so, it seems I can go with peace of mind. Perona, just follow them. Anyway, I didn't regard you as real partners before, just as chess pieces. You have nothing to miss. Master Moria, I understand. Perona looked at Gecko Moria's last plea for her eyes becoming extremely complicated. The sea, it's so vast. Gecko Moria faced the sun and died with a smile. Amber teleported back to her companions and took back a bag of fruit. The rest depended on luck. Fortunately, Amber was favored by the goddess of luck again, and the shadow fruit was reborn on a nearby fruit. At this time, a group of pirates emerged from the forest. They were all the unlucky ones whose shadows were taken away by Moria. They were attracted by the sound of the battle just now, but the aftermath of the battle was too great, and they did not dare to get close. It only pops up now that the battle is over. Thank you so much. You are literally our savior. These pirates used disgusting words to express their gratitude to Amber for saving her life. Okay, my main purpose is Gecko Moria. Saving you is simply unintentional. Amber really couldn't stand it, so if they really want to thank them, just use Pele to thank them. These pirates are also people who repay their kindness and gave almost all their Baileys to Amber and others. Amber also refused to accept anyone who came. After all, if doing good deeds is free, who would do good deeds? After finishing her work, Amber took Perona and her friends back to the Thor. It's just that Amber didn't notice the flash of the shutter, otherwise Amber would have complained about where these all-pervasive reporters came from. Aboard the Thor, Amber gathered everyone together and took out the shadow fruit. Although she had already decided to give it to Conis, as a captain, she could not act arbitrarily. This is Gecko Moria's shadow fruit. You already know its power, right? Does anyone want to eat it? Amber asked everyone. Apart from those who ate the devil fruit themselves, only Conis and Franky were left. I'm a reformer. I mainly rely on technology to improve my strength. I really don't need devil fruit. Franky said. So, what about you, Conis? Amber looked at Conis. Sister Nami told me that she couldn't do anything to help her, so she chose to eat devil fruit. I also want to help everyone. Conis said softly but firmly. Amber handed the shadow fruit to Conis, and Conis ate it. You can come to me anytime in the future. Amber said to Conis with a smile. Unexpectedly, Conis suddenly thought of something, blushed, and said hesitantly, Amber. You already have Nami and Robin, we may not be suitable. Amber suddenly felt two dangerous eyes staring directly at her, and looked up cautiously. There was a cross on Nami's forehead, and she clenched her fists towards Amber. Robin still looked at Amber and smiled lightly, but Amber could see the murderous intent contained in it. Conis, I think you misunderstood. What I'm talking about is cultivation. You can not only ask me, but you can also ask Nami, Zoro, and everyone. Amber quickly explained. So you're a playboy. The person speaking was Perona, who had just joined Brook along with her. Don't talk nonsense. I'm suing you for libel. Believe it or not, I'm suing you for libel. She's slandering me. Veins appeared on Amber's forehead. What a huge pot. Apart from kissing Nami twice on Alabasta, hugging Nami, eating some tofu, and flirting with Robin on the ghost ship, has he done anything outrageous? I can't believe it. You are just a playboy captain. All the female crew members on board are so beautiful. Who knows if you have the idea of taking them all into the harem. After saying that, Perona walked directly through the wall. I see. I thought I was a pervert, but I didn't expect that the captain is the real pervert. Franky gave Amber a thumbs up and said seriously. Yo-hey-hey, it seems that the beautiful ladies on the ship all belong to the captain, yo-hey-hey. Amber is so awesome, but what is a harem? Hey, Nami, what are you doing covering my ears? Children, don't listen to these unclean things. It seems that Mr. Captain has fallen into a dangerous situation again. Amber was silent and had already looked away, too lazy to pay attention to these guys who were showing off their treasures. After looking at the map, the next stop is the end of the first half of the Grand Line, Sabaody Archipelago. I can finally do something I have wanted to do for a long time. Chapter 49 Sabaody Island Archipelago and the third mission. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 386. 97. 129. After sailing at sea for an unknown length of time, the Thor finally arrived at the Sabaody Archipelago. You can see the red line here, which means we have completed half of the Grand Line journey. As long as we complete the remaining half, we can complete the same feat as Pirate King Galdi. Roger did back then. Amber looked at the distance. The red line silhouette said with emotion. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that the newbie Roger that I heard about back then actually accomplished an unprecedented feat and was crowned the Pirate King, and then was captured and executed by Marine. How unpredictable things are. Brook also sighed with emotion. As expected, it's Roger's newcomer Brook, and 4 Emperor's veteran Jinbei. There are 2 ways to reach the second half of the Grand Line. One is to fly over the red line. Nami explained the route. This is impossible, Zoro complained as he looked at the tall and majestic red line. So, most people take the second route, passing through the Fishmen Island, which is 10,000 meters under the sea, and then to New World. 10,000 meters. How to go down here? Everyone was in despair. They either wanted to fly over the red line or sink to 10,000 meters under the sea. It's coating. The boat must be coated with a film. This film can prevent both water and sea pressure, Amber explained with a smile. Coating. Everyone asked in surprise. I don't know about this, but Crocus in Twin Points knows a coating master. This is the letter of introduction he gave us. Amber took out Crocus's letter. But there's a little trouble. Amber suddenly remembered something and said awkwardly. What trouble? This has something to do with Nami. Amber looked at Nami. Nami looked stunned, pointed at herself, and said doubtfully, is it related to me? Yeah, Amber nodded. You still remember the 8-clawed octopus in Cocoa West Village, right? Nami's hand trembled instinctively. Although the dragon pirates had all died in Amber's hands, the damage caused to her by the dragons over the years has not disappeared, even though she can now kill the original evil ones instantly. Dragon pirates. Amber looked at Nami like this and slowly held Nami in her arms. Nami felt Amber's warm embrace and gradually calmed down. That 8-clawed octopus was the coating master's savior. Then why don't we go find someone else to coat it? Franky asked strangely. It's different, that person is different. Amber shook her head. He is Silver Rayleigh, the former vice captain of the Pirate King, known as Pluton. Amber said the entire name slowly. Quote. What? Everyone was silent at first, and then stunned. The captain killed Pluton's savior, which means our pirate group will have to face this living legend no matter what. Zoro concluded calmly. Even if it happens again, I will kill it. Amber shrugged indifferently. Everyone knew what happened to Nami and stopped talking. Soon, the ship found a port to dock. This is the largest mangrove in the world, the Yarkman mangrove. Everyone was amazed when looking at this huge tree. The biggest feature of the Sabaody archipelago is that the roots of the archipelago secrete special natural resin due to respiration. The resin expands due to air to form bubbles, and then flies into the sky. Since the bubble is only suitable for the climate range of the archipelago, once the bubble leaves the climate range of the Sabaody archipelago, the resin component will explode because it cannot fully exert its power. Bubble cars, bubble Ferris wheels, houses built on bubbles, bubble culture permeates every place on Sabaody Island. The entire island is composed of 79 trees, all numbered, and each tree has towns and facilities. People call the archipelago of these 79 islands the Sabaody archipelago. The regional divisions of the Sabaody archipelago are also very clear, based on the numbers on the trees. 1st to 29th. There are mainly human trafficking shops, human auctions, illegal zones, etc. 30th to 39th. Mainly include soap bubble park, etc. Number 40 to 49. Mainly tourist areas, specialty shops, etc. Number 50 to 59. Mainly shipyards, coating craftsmen, etc. Number 60 to 69. Mainly include marine garrison, government entrance and exit, etc. Number 70 to 79. Mainly hotel streets, etc. Please don't separate later. There are some pirates, bounty hunters and human traffickers on this island who are responsible for capturing slaves. Slave. There is such a thing. Hasn't it been banned a long time ago? Perona looked incredulous. Slavery in the Sabaody archipelago is actually preserved because of the existence of one creature, a very disgusting creature, the celestial dragons. Celestial dragons? Nami asked strangely. Celestial dragons are the descendants of 19 of the 20 kings who formed the world government 800 years ago. They claim to be descendants of the creator, and enjoy all privileges. Because they regard themselves as noble and disdain to breathe the same air as ordinary people, they carry a bubble hood. Amber spoke lightly about the origin of celestial dragons. Ha. Are there really such idiotic creatures? Perona laughed. Once the celestial dragons are offended, Marine Admiral or CP0 will be dispatched for protection. Amber looked at the laughing Perona and added lightly. Marine Admiral, I didn't say anything just now, and you didn't hear anything. Perona was so frightened that she cried when she heard the words Marine Admiral, and quickly denied what she said. Don't worry, I recorded it for you. Franky took out a strange device, pointed it at it, and then said to Perona. Delete it. Damn it, you negative ghost. Ding, the long-lost system sounded again. Host, congratulations on reaching the end of the first half of the Grand Line, Sabaody Archipelago. Now the system has issued the third task, the Broken Taboo. This task requires the host to execute the heinous celestial dragons in public. The completion of the task depends on who knows this incident. Number of people. Because this mission is too difficult, the system will provide assistance throughout the process. This assistance cannot directly improve strength, reward items, etc. 1000 items. I wish host a successful completion of the mission. Although I have wanted to do this for a long time, but the system has 1000 taboos for assisting you. What can you help? Amber couldn't help complaining. Chapter 50 Shaki's Rip-Off Bar. Selena Gomez posts powerful bikini then and now. More. 788. 197. 263. During the time when the Sky Shadow pirates arrived at the Sabaody archipelago, the news that Gecko Moria, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, was killed by Thor, Amber spread throughout the world. Originally, the world government would definitely block such an important matter. Just like in the original novel, it blocked the news that Straw Hat crew defeated Gecko Moria, and allowed Gecko Moria to continue to be Shichibukai. Although I don't know why it sent Doflamingo after the Summit War. Obliterate Gecko Moria. But by coincidence, among the group of people Amber rescued, there was an unlucky reporter whose shadow was taken away by Gecko Moria. Out of his reporter's instinct, he took a photo of Gecko Moria's defeat. After being rescued, this reporter returned to work only to find that because he had disappeared for too long, his position had been taken by his former good brother. The good brother also very kindly helped him take care of his beautiful wife, who had been missing for 3 years. When I came back, the child was 3 years old. So this reporter went to great lengths to find the legendary news king, Morgans, the president of World Economic News. Morgans was shocked when he got the photo, and finally released it after careful consideration. After all, nothing is more important than the money bag. As for the blame from the world government, it has been tried and true to use ignorance of the inside story as an excuse. The news has been released anyway. The reporter was reused by Morgans and became the editor-in-chief of a certain region, reaching the pinnacle of his life. Naval Headquarters, Marineford. Marshal Sengoku, this meeting actually called us all back. It seems that something really important happened. In the conference room of Naval Headquarters, a middle-aged uncle who looked very wretched and like an ape put his legs on the table casually, not caring at all about the gloomy face of Akainu opposite him. This middle-aged man is none other than Kizaru Porosalino, one of Marine's 3 most powerful admirals. A user with the Logia Flash Fruit ability has the speed of a flash and can attack at the speed of a flash. His catchphrase is, "Have you ever been kicked at the speed of light?" He upholds ambiguous justice. Possessing armament Haki and observation Haki, he is weak in physical skills and was evaluated by his teacher Zephyr as over-reliant on fruit abilities. Salino, please be serious. This is the Marine Supreme Council. Put away your cynicism. Admiral Akainu, who was sitting opposite, had a serious face. Akainu Admiral, whose real name is Sakazuki, is a user with Logia Lava Fruit ability. The terrifying high temperature of the magma gives him the strongest attack power among the 3 admirals. He hates pirates deeply. He pursues absolute justice and can sacrifice everything to maintain justice. He has a dark history of attacking refugee ships during the Ohara incident 20 years ago. He is an extreme person. Yo, so scary, Sakazuki. Kizaru was still careless and didn't take Akainu's words to heart at all. As one of the 3 admirals, Akainu couldn't do anything to him. The 3 admirals also have conflicts with each other. If I'm not mistaken, it must be related to that thunder god, Amber. Admiral Chingzi Kuzan sitting next to him said lazily. Admiral Chingzi, whose real name is Kuzan, is a user with Logia Frozen Fruit ability. He is the only one among the 3 admirals who is not afraid of sea water. Frozen fruit can freeze the sea at any time and pursues leisurely justice. Chingzi is right. The target of this meeting is him, Thor god, Amber, who has a bounty of 800 million belly. According to the latest news, Gecko Moria has been killed by Thor god, Amber, and the shadow fruit has also fallen to him. In my hand, Sengoku began to explain. Including Crocodile, 2 Shichibukai have died in his hands. We don't know his purpose, but his actions have seriously affected the stability of this sea. It's just 2 pirates, Akainu said contemptuously. What Shichibukai? In Akainu's eyes are just a few relatively powerful pirates. If he is serious, he can kill them all. Sengoku shook his head. The Shichibukai system is to maintain the balance of the sea. We don't know if Thunder God, Amber's purpose is to hunt Shichibukai. The most important thing is that according to Chingzi's intelligence, Thor, Amber has at least 3 different abilities. We can't be sure whether it is a devil fruit ability. If so, Thor, Amber may be the first multi-demon in history. Fruit power. Sengoku looked serious. Blackbeard. What? This is impossible. The Marines in the meeting who didn't know the situation were all surprised. According to intelligence, Thor God, Amber has arrived at the Sabaody archipelago, and an order has been issued requiring us to capture Thor God, Amber alive. The secrets hidden in him seriously affect the safety of this world. Sengoku slowly said the core part of the meeting. In the following meeting, all Marines were extremely serious, and even the casual Kizaru was rarely serious for a moment. Island number 13 of the Sabaody archipelago. After parking the ship in a remote area of the lawless zone, Amber and others set out to land on the island. Amber went to Shaky's rip-off bar, based on the address Crocus gave in the letter. Arriving at the bar door, he pushed the door open and entered. There was not a single customer in the bar, only a mature lady with short black hair, wearing a spider-patterned top, and a cigarette in her hand, standing at the bar. This is Shaki. Shaki looks very young, only in her 30s, but Amber knows that she was a crew member on the Rocks pirate ship decades ago. She is still the queen of 9 Snake Island who knows how many generations ago. No one knows how old she is, but she is probably much older than Rayleigh. Shaki's main job is as an information dealer, specializing in selling information. The bar is just used to cover up people's eyes. When he saw Amber and others coming in, he just glanced at them casually. He probably already knew the identities of Amber and others. Amber calmly sat at the bar and ordered a glass of wine. Shaki took out a bottle of wine from the wine cabinet and said as he poured it, "Why did the famous Thor appear in my small shop?" Amber raised her glass, took a sip and smiled, as expected of a famous intelligence dealer. "No, it's because your reputation as Thor God is too great. Within half a year of going to sea, you defeated Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Shichibukai and drew with Marine Admiral. Even now, some people compare you with the 4 monsters of New World. Quote. I have tried my best to defeat Shichibukai. The draw with Marine Admiral was purely a rumor spread by Marine for the sake of flattery. In fact, I just relied on some special abilities to delay Chingzi. If I continue to fight, I will definitely die." Amber responded modestly. "Oh, there are actually sober pirates like you. If ordinary pirates had a reputation like yours, they would have recruited troops and gone to the New World to challenge Whitebeard." Amber shook her head. "My original goal was not to be a pirate at all, so why would I care about this?" "Haha, you are so hypocritical. Who asked Cobra to launch a nationwide propaganda campaign when he defeated Crocodile?" Shaki poured himself a glass of wine. "I've read your information. You became pirates because you killed marine garbage who wanted to kill ordinary people, and you have never attacked ordinary people since you went to sea. I knew it when I saw this. How false Marine's report is. After all, world government has always done this kind of ugly thing in order to maintain its rule. So, what is your purpose?"